I'm driving north on Interstate 35, 3 hours from Austin to Houston, and my hands won't stop shaking on the steering wheel. Not from nerves, from excitement. Pure electric anticipation that makes my heart race every time I glance at my phone in the cup holder. One text from Marcus glows on the locked screen. She's ready whenever you are. 3 years. 3 years of every weekend in that garage, every spare dollar on parts, every late night, with grease under my fingernails and my grandfather's voice in my head, teaching me about engines and patience and building something that lasts. Today's the day I finally drive the 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback home to show my family. The car my grandfather left me. The car we restored together in spirit after he died. They have no idea I finished it. No idea it's sitting in Marcus's garage right now, cherry red and chrome gleaming, waiting for me to surprise them on New Year's Day, with 3 years of secret work finally complete. I had no idea that while I was driving 3 hours to surprise my family with the car of my dreams, they were already celebrating having sold it out from under me. The Honda Civic hums beneath me, reliable and forgettable. I pass the exit for Brenham, 2 hours down, 1 to go. My phone buzzes. Marcus again. Call me when you can. It's important. I ignore it. He's probably just excited. I'll call when I'm closer. The GPS says 53 minutes to destination. My childhood home in the Houston suburbs. The 6-bedroom colonial where I learned to make myself small. Where I perfected the art of being low maintenance. Where every achievement I ever celebrated alone echoed in rooms full of people celebrating Ashley's ordinary. But not today. Today I have something they can't diminish. I'm 10 minutes away when Marcus calls again. This time I answer on speaker. Hey, I'm almost there. You ready to Maya? His voice stops me cold. Pull over. Marcus, I'm on a residential street. I can't just pull over. Now, I do. Heart hammering. What happened? Is the car okay? Silence. Too long. Then Maya, did you give anyone else keys to your garage? My blood turns to ice. What? No. Why, I came by this morning to load the car. Your garage door was open. That's impossible. I locked everything before I left yesterday. I know. That's why I'm calling. He pauses, takes a breath. The Mustang is gone. The words don't make sense. I hear them, but they bounce off my brain. What do you mean gone? The garage is empty. There's an oil stain where it was parked. That's it. Did someone steal it? Did you call the police? There's no sign of break-in. And Maya, there's a note on your workbench, in your mom's handwriting. The world tilts. Read it to me. It says, borrowed the Mustang for a good cause. We'll explain when you get here. See you at 2 o'clock. Love, Mom. I can't breathe. Borrowed the Mustang. My Mustang that lived in my garage on my property, built with my hands and my money and my time. I'm almost there. I'll call you after. I hang up. Put the car in drive. My hands aren't shaking anymore. They're steady as stone. I pull into my parents' driveway at 1:47 p.m. The driveway is full. Dad's Lexus. Mom's BMW X5. An empty space where Ashley's old Honda should be. Through the front window I see movement. Mom in the kitchen. Dad in the living room. Ashley on the couch, phone in hand, smiling. They're celebrating something. I walk to the front door. Don't knock. Step inside. Maya, you're early. We weren't expecting you until 2. I set my purse down. Look at my mother standing in the kitchen doorway, apron on, smile bright, champagne flute in hand. Mom, where's my car? Her smile falters. Just for a second. Oh honey, let's talk about that after we eat. Ashley has the most exciting news. Where is my car? Dad appears in the hallway. Maya, don't start. Come sit down and let's have a civilized conversation. Behind them, Ashley looks up from her phone. Sees my face. Something flickers in her expression. I look at each of them. Someone broke into my garage and took my car. Broken mom laughs. That dismissive laugh. Honey, no. We used the spare key you gave us. Remember, for emergencies, watering my plants is not the same as taking my car. We didn't take it, sweetheart. We sold it. She says it casually, like announcing she donated old clothes. For a wonderful reason. Ashley, honey, come tell your sister the good news. The room spins. Sold it. Ashley bounces over phone, glowing with an equipment list. Maya, you're not going to believe this. I got accepted into the Premier Content Creator Academy. It's this amazing program and they connect you with sponsors and everything, but I needed professional equipment. How much? She blinks. What? How much did the equipment cost? $45,000. But Maya, this is going to launch my entire career. And how much did they sell my car for? Silence. Ashley's smile freezes. Mom sets down her champagne. Dad takes a long drink. $52,000, Dad says finally. We got a very good price. The number hits like a physical blow. When December 30th, Mom says. The buyer picked it up yesterday. The money's already in Ashley's business account. Yesterday morning, while I was at work. While I was 3 hours away thinking my car was safe. You went into my garage. We have a key, Dad says. And honestly, Maya, the car was just sitting there. Ashley needed this opportunity now. I turned to Ashley. Really, look at her. Did you ask them to sell my car? Her eyes widen. No, I told them about the program and Mom asked how much, and then they said they had the money, and you didn't think to ask me to text me to say, hey, where's this $50,000 coming from? They said the car was in their name. That it was theirs too. It was Grandpa's car. My voice cracks. The car he left me. The car we worked on together. 3 years, Ashley. 3 years of my time and my money and my work. Your grandfather would want it to help family, Dad says. Something inside me breaks. Not loudly. Just a quiet final snap. I need air. I walk out the back door. Stand on the patio. Pull out my phone. Call Marcus. They sold it. My parents sold it. Jesus Christ. That's theft, Maya. It was in their name. For insurance. 3 years ago. But you restored it. You have receipts for all the parts, right? Yeah. Every part. Every hour. I documented everything. Behind me, the door opens. Ashley steps out. Maya. Why are you so upset? It's just a car. I turn slowly. Look at my sister. Did you know? That was my car? Yeah, but it was in their name, so... Did you know I spent 3 years restoring it? She shifts. You were always working on some project. Did you know it was Grandpa's car, our project together? Silence. You didn't think at all. You needed something, they found a way to get it for you, and it didn't matter who it hurt. I walk back inside. Mom and Dad are setting the table like everything is normal. I'm leaving. Mom looks up. What, Maya, you just got here. I'm not hungry. Don't be dramatic, Dad says. Sit down. Adults ask permission before taking things that don't belong to them. The car belonged to us, he says. Firm. Final. We made a parenting decision. I'm 26 years old. You don't get to make decisions about my property. I grab my purse, walk to the front door. Maya, if you walk out, Dad starts. I turn. What, you'll disown me? Cut me off? You've never supported me anyway. So what exactly will change? Mom's crying now. How can you say that? After everything we've done for you, what have you done for me? Name one thing in the last 5 years. Silence. I step out onto the porch. You sold my car for $45,000. Do you know how much money I've given this family? They stare at me. I'm going to find out. And then we're going to have a very different conversation. I walk to my Civic. Get in. Drive away. My phone starts buzzing before I hit the first stoplight. I silence it. Keep driving until I see the neon lights of a 24-hour diner. I pull in. sit in my car, finally let myself cry, not delicate tears, ugly gasping sobs, for the car, for Grandpa, for the family I thought I had. I walk into the diner. The waitress takes one look at my face. "Honey, you look like you could use some coffee." I slide into a booth. Nod. "Coffee. And pie. Whatever you have." She brings cherry pie. Perfect. Tart and sweet and real. I pull out my phone. Open my banking app. Start scrolling through transactions. Venmo to mom $500. Emergency car repair. Zelle to dad $1.200. Property tax help. Venmo to Ashley $800. Rent assistance. I keep scrolling, keep finding payments, keep adding. $55,000, give or take, over 5 years. I pull up a blank email, address it to Mom, Dad, Ashley. CC Patricia Marcus. Subject a conversation about respect and boundaries. I start typing. Every achievement they minimized. Every dollar I gave. Every boundary they crossed. I attach the spreadsheet. Financial contributions 2019 to 2024. Total $55,247. I attach photos. Me cropped out. Standing alone at graduation. Holding certificates no one celebrated. My thumb hovers over send. I don't send it. Not yet. Save to drafts. Screenshot. Back up. Then I text Marcus. I need help. Can I come over? Doors open? I'm making a spreadsheet. I leave cash for the pie. Drive toward Austin. Toward home. Toward the friend who sees me. My phone keeps buzzing. I don't look. Because they had 26 years to see me. They chose not to. Now I'm choosing me. I make it back to Austin by 9 p.m., pulling into my apartment complex, with my phone showing 73 missed calls and 142 text messages. I don't read any of them. Just grab my purse, and walk up to my second-floor apartment, where Marcus is sitting on my doorstep, laptop balanced on his knees, 2 cups of coffee from the place down the street sitting beside him. He looks up when he hears my footsteps. Doesn't say anything. Just stands, hands me a coffee, and follows me inside. My apartment is exactly as I left it this morning, 1,000 years ago, when I thought I was driving to Houston to surprise my family with my restored Mustang. I set my purse down on the kitchen counter. Stand there staring at nothing. "Have you eaten?" Marcus asks. "Pie. At a diner. 8 hours ago." He orders food anyway, Thai from the place that delivers late. Then he opens his laptop on my dining table and gestures for me to sit. "Talk to me. Everything. Start from when you got there." So I do. I tell him about walking in and smelling champagne at 2 in the afternoon. About Ashley's bouncing excitement over her Content Creator Academy. About the casual way my mother said we sold it. About the $52,000. About them using my spare key. About the car being in their name, so technically legal but morally monstrous. Marcus types as I talk. Making notes. Creating timelines. He's a paralegal for a corporate law firm. This is what he does. Organize chaos into something comprehensible. "Okay," he says when I finish. "First question. Do you want the car back? It's already sold. Buyer picked it up yesterday. Money's spent. Nothing's final until it's final. If you could prove the title transfer was fraudulent, it wasn't fraudulent. It was in their name. I put it there 3 years ago because I was broke and trying to save money on insurance. Did you have an agreement that it was temporary?" A verbal one, with my dead grandfather, not exactly legally binding. Marcus makes a note. "What about all the parts you bought, the restoration work? You have receipts, 3 years of receipts, every part, every tool, every hour documented because I was proud of it. That's your investment. That has value independent of who held the title." He types faster. Texas law recognizes equitable claims, You put $50,000+ of work into a vehicle that was sold without your knowledge or consent. They're my parents, Marcus. I can't sue my parents. He looks up at me, patient, kind. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you could. There's a difference. Right now we're just gathering information so you know what your options are. The food arrives. Marcus pays while I sit at my table staring at the legal pad he's filled with notes. The doorbell buzzes again 20 minutes later. I check the video intercom. It's Priya from work. She's holding a bottle of wine and a box of cookies. I buzz her up. Open the door before she can knock. Marcus texted me, she says by way of explanation. Said you needed backup. She comes and assesses the situation in one glance and gets to work. Opens wine. Plates food. Forces me to eat 3 bites before she'll let me talk. So your parents sold your car, she says. It's not a question. My dead grandfather's car that I spent 3 years restoring. For your sister's influencer equipment. Content creator equipment. Apparently there's a difference. Priya takes a long drink of wine. My brother did something similar to me once. Not a car, my college fund. My parents gave him half of it for a business opportunity that failed in 6 months. I had to take out loans for senior year. I look at her. I didn't know that. Why would you? But I learned something from it. Family doesn't get a pass on behavior just because they're family. What did you do? Nothing for 2 years. Let it eat at me. Then one day I just stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped pretending. She refills my wine glass. My brother's business failed. He's broke. I'm a senior product manager making 6 figures. Guess who they wish they'd invested in? Marcus closes his laptop. Maya, I made a spreadsheet. Every payment you've made to your family in the last 5 years. Want to see the total? I don't. But I nod anyway. He turns the laptop around. The number glows on the screen in a cell highlighted bright yellow. $55,247. I stare at it. That can't be right. Can't be that much. But there it is. Itemized. Dated. Documented with my own bank records. This doesn't include non-monetary support, Marcus adds. Time spent helping Ashley move 4 times. Gas money driving down for holidays. The laptop you bought your dad. Christmas gifts. Birthday presents. How do you know about all that? Because you tell me things. And I remember. And I keep track of the people I love being taken advantage of. Priya leans over to look at the spreadsheet. Whistles. Jesus, Maya. That's almost a year of your old salary. Not anymore. I just got promoted. I'm making $140 now. When did that happen? Last month? I haven't told my family yet. Because they didn't care about the last promotion, Marcus says quietly. Or the one before that. I pick up my wine glass, put it down without drinking, stand up and walk to my bedroom closet. In the back behind my winter coats, there's a plastic storage bin. I pull it out, carry it back to the living room. What's that? Priya asks. Evidence. I open it. Inside are photo albums, yearbooks, programs from school events, letters, cards, my entire childhood documentation. I start pulling things out, laying them on the coffee table. First album. Age 7. Science fair photo. Me holding first place trophy, smiling huge gap-toothed smile. I'm half cut off from the frame. Ashley's in the center, age 4, being held by mom. Caption on back in mom's handwriting, Ashley's first big event, Maya won something too. Age 10. Piano recital program. Ashley's name circled in red marker. Mine in regular ink. I flip through until I find the photo. Ashley forgot her piece, cried on stage. Everyone comforted her afterward. I played Chopin perfectly. No one mentioned it. Age 13. Report card. All A's. Tucked in the album with no fanfare. Next page, Ashley's report card. 2 A's, 3 B's, 1 C. Mom's handwriting in marker. So proud. Marcus picks up the science fair photo. Studies it. You're literally cropped out of your own achievement. I told myself for years that I was imagining it. That I was being sensitive. I keep pulling out albums. But it's all here, every single time. High school, regional robotics championship, my team won. There's one grainy photo of me with the trophy. Ashley had cheer practice the same day. The album has 12 professional photos of Ashley in her uniform. Your parents didn't come to regionals, Priya asks. Coach drove me home. I cried in his car. I find the photo of my 16th birthday. Single Polaroid at Chili's. Ashley's Sweet 16 was 3 months before this. They rented a venue. DJ. Professional photographer. Whole album dedicated to it. My birthday one. Polaroid slightly out of focus. I keep going. College acceptance letters. Mine says full ride to UT Austin Computer Science, with a note great one less expense. Ashley's acceptance to state school 3 years later has a sticky note celebration dinner at Harbor House graduation photos. Mine family arrived late left during the reception. There's one photo. I'm standing alone by the cake table in my cap and gown summa cum laude cord around my neck. My expression is trying so hard to look happy. Ashley's graduation weekend trip. Hotel. Fancy dinner. Dozens of photos. I flew in from my new job. Bought Ashley a laptop as a gift. No one bought me anything when I graduated. How did I not see this before, I ask? How did I not see that this was the pattern my entire life? Because you were living it, Priya says gently. When you're in it, you think it's normal. I find more recent photos. Last Christmas. Extended family photo. Everyone clustered around the tree. I'm standing slightly apart, half a step behind the group. You can barely see me behind Uncle Tom's shoulder. Email from Dad from 2 years ago. Subject: family investment opportunity. Sent to Ashley and cousin Michael. I'm CC'd by accident. Body not including Maya, too complex for someone in tech to understand real estate. I'd forgotten about that email. Had filed it away in the part of my brain where I keep things that hurt too much to examine. Marcus is photographing everything. Every album page, every note, every caption. Creating a digital archive. What are you doing documenting? You're going to need this. He looks up at me. Not for court, for you. For when they try to gaslight you into thinking you're remembering wrong. I find a letter, my grandfather's handwriting, dated 6 months before he died. Maya Bear, your parents mean well, but they've always had blinders on when it comes to Ashley. Don't let that dim your light. You shine bright enough without their permission. Another letter. 2 months before he died. I see how hard you work on this car. It's not about the car, is it? It's about building something that's yours, something they can't diminish. The last letter. 1 week before his heart attack. The Mustang is yours, not for them to manage. Yours. Make sure the title goes in your name only after I'm gone. Don't let them convince you otherwise. I know what I'm asking you to give up. The insurance savings matters when you're young and broke. But trust me on this. Keep it in your name. They will take it if you don't. My hands are shaking. The letter blurs through my tears. He knew. Grandpa knew what they were. What they'd do. And he tried to warn me. And I didn't listen, because I wanted to trust them. Because I was 23 and grieving and not thinking clearly. He told me I whisper. He literally told me not to put it in their name, and I did it anyway. Priya takes the letter. Reads it. Looks at me with something like awe. Your grandfather knew exactly who your parents are. Marcus has his phone out. Maya, do you have any videos of your grandfather from when you were working on the car? I dig out my old phone from a drawer. Scroll through the camera roll. Find a video from 3 years ago. Grandpa teaching me to rebuild a carburetor. His voice clear and patient. Your daddy never had patience for this kind of work. But you do. You've got the good parts of this family, kiddo. In the video, I'm focused, asking smart questions, my hands confident, even though I'm learning. Grandpa watches me with such obvious pride. That's my girl, he says in the video. You're gonna finish this, and it's gonna be beautiful. And it's gonna be yours. No one can take that from you. The video ends with both of us covered in grease laughing. I watch it 3 more times. Then I set the phone down and cry. Not the angry gasping sobs from earlier. Quiet tears that feel like grief. Priya hands me tissues. Marcus makes more notes. They don't tell me to stop crying. Don't tell me it'll be okay. They just sit with me in it. My phone, the current one, lights up on the table. Another call. Unknown number. I answer without thinking. Hello, Maya. It's Patricia, your aunt. I sit up straighter. Patricia, Dad's sister. The one who stopped coming to family gatherings years ago. I just saw the email thread. Your mother accidentally replied all to the family group. Her voice is careful. I want you to know that everything you're feeling, you're not crazy. You're not imagining it. I saw it too. You did, honey, I lived it. Different version, same pattern. Your father and I were raised by parents who believed boys were more important than girls. When I got into medical school, my mother said I'd never finish. When your dad got his business degree, they threw him a party. She pauses. I stopped coming to holidays because I got tired of watching them do to you what they did to me. I should have said something. I'm sorry I didn't. Why didn't you? She's quiet for a moment. Because I told myself it wasn't my place. That speaking up would just make things worse. I was wrong. Do you know about the car? I know your father called me last week. Asked if selling an asset to fund Ashley's education was reasonable. I asked if the asset belonged to you. He said yes, but it was in their name. I told him that was theft. He said I didn't understand family sacrifice. She pauses. I told him explicitly not to do it. That you'd put years of work into that car. He did it anyway. I stopped talking to him after that call. Until today. After we hang up, I look at Marcus and Priya. Half the family knew this was wrong. And they did it anyway. Because they didn't think you'd fight back, Marcus says. They thought you'd accept it like you've accepted everything else. I pull out my laptop, open the draft email I wrote at the diner, read it again. It's angry, raw, true, but it's also written in the heat of the moment. I want to write a new one I can stand behind tomorrow and next month and next year. So we do. The 3 of us, Marcus with his legal precision, Priya with her experience of family financial abuse, me with my documentation and my truth. We write for 2 hours. Clear, factual. Not angry, just honest. Here's what happened. Here's the pattern. Here's the impact. Here's what I need going forward. We attach photos. We attach the financial spreadsheet. We attach Grandpa's letters. The email is ready by midnight. To Mom, Dad, Ashley, CC, Patricia, Marcus, Cousin, Michael, Aunt Marie, subject, truth and boundaries. I read it one last time. My finger hovers over send. Once this goes out, there's no taking it back, I say. Good, Priya says. Let it be permanent. I hit send at 12:03 a.m. The email whooshes away. Gone. Public. Real. My phone stays silent for exactly 4 minutes. Then it explodes. Mom. How could you air our private business to the whole family, Dad? This is a betrayal of trust. Ashley, I can't believe you're doing this to me. But also, Cousin Michael, Maya, I've seen this for years. Thank you for saying it. Aunt Marie, Linda, we need to talk about how you've treated Maya. The family group chat fractures in real time, half defending me, half defending my parents. Everyone suddenly having an opinion about something they've watched happen in silence for 26 years. I turn my phone face down, look at Marcus and Priya. What happens now? Marcus closes his laptop. Now you wait. You've said your piece, made it public, the ball's in their court, and if they don't respond, then you have your answer. Priya starts cleaning up the food containers. You should sleep. I don't think I can. Then we'll stay. They do stay. We end up on my couch watching reality TV with the sound low. I fall asleep sometime around 2 a.m. still in my clothes, Marcus on one end of the couch and Priya on the other. I dream about Grandpa, about the garage, about his hands over mine teaching me to feel when an engine was running right, In the dream, he says sometimes you have to take things apart completely before you can rebuild them right. I wake up at dawn. Marcus is asleep in my recliner. Priya's gone but left a note. Had to get home to feed my cat. Call me later. You did good yesterday. Love you. My phone is on the coffee table where I left it. 67 new notifications. I don't check them yet. Instead, I go to my desk, pull out my journal, the one my therapist will later tell me to start keeping. I write day 1. I told the truth. I'm terrified. But I'm also free. I close the journal, make coffee, stand at my kitchen window watching the sun come up over Austin. Behind me, Marcus stirs. You okay? I don't know yet. Ask me in a week. Fair enough. My phone buzzes. I finally look at the notifications. Most are from the family group chat, but one is from a number I don't recognize. I open it. Maya, this is Jennifer Wu. Patricia gave me your contact info. I'm a family law attorney. If you need legal advice regarding your situation, I'd like to offer a consultation, no charge. Sometimes family matters need professional perspective. Let me know. I show Marcus. He reads it and nods. Patricia works fast. Jennifer's good, really good. Should I call her? That depends. Do you want to know your options? I think about the car. About the $55,000. About 26 years of being invisible. Yeah, I want to know my options. I text Jennifer back. Thank you. Yes, I'd like to meet. When are you available? Her response comes within minutes. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. My office downtown. I'll send you the address. I set my phone down. Look at Marcus. I'm really doing this, aren't I? You're really doing this. What if I'm making a mistake? What if you're finally making the right choice? I don't have an answer for that. Not yet. But I make the coffee. I let Marcus use my shower. I get ready for work even though it's Sunday and I don't have to go in. Because life keeps moving. Even when your family implodes. Even when you choose yourself for the first time in 26 years. Even when everything you thought was solid turns out to be built on sand. I'm learning to stand on my own foundation now, and that has to be enough. Sunday passes in a blur of notifications. I don't read and phone calls I don't answer. By Monday morning, my phone shows 94 missed calls and 187 text messages. I put it on Do Not Disturb except for Marcus, Priya, Patricia, and Jennifer Wu. Work is a relief. Code doesn't judge. Deadlines don't care about family drama. I dive into my projects like they're the only real things in my life. At lunch, Priya stops by my desk. How you holding up? I have a lawyer appointment at 11 tomorrow. Her eyebrows go up. You're not messing around. I just need to know what's legal. What's not? What I can do. Smart. She hesitates. Want to see something? We go to the conference room. She pulls up her laptop, shows me a spreadsheet similar to Marcus's but older, more detailed. This is what my brother took from me. Over 6 years. The number at the bottom is staggering. $127,000. Jesus, Priya. I made this 3 years after I stopped talking to him. Therapy homework. My therapist wanted me to quantify what letting people take advantage of me cost. She closes the laptop. I never showed it to my family, never sued. But having it knowing the exact number, it changed something. I stopped feeling guilty for walking away. Do you regret not confronting them? Sometimes. But mostly no. Because confronting them would have been for them. Making the spreadsheet and walking away was for me. That evening, I do something I've been avoiding. I look at the family group chat. The messages since my email are vicious. Grandma Chen, I can't believe Maya would do this to Linda. She raised her better. Aunt Carol, family issues should stay private. This is embarrassing. Dad, our lawyer says we can sue for defamation. We're considering it. But also, Uncle Tom, Robert, you sold her car without asking. What did you expect, Aunt Patricia? The only embarrassing thing here is how you've treated Maya for 26 years. Cousin Michael. Maybe instead of threatening to sue her, you could try respecting her boundaries. The family is fracturing, lines being drawn, sides chosen. And I'm the catalyst. I close the group chat, open the storage bin again, pull out more albums. Need to see the full pattern. Need proof I'm not imagining this. Elementary school photos, every class picture. Ashley always in the front row centered. Me always in the back, partially hidden behind taller kids. Birthday parties. Ashley's are documented every year. Professional photos, theme decorations, guest lists in mom's handwriting. Mine stopped being documented after age 8. Family vacations. Disney World when I was 9. The photo album has 47 pictures. Ashley appears in 45 of them. I appear in 12. I find my college move-in day. One photo. Me standing in front of my dorm with a box. No parents in frame. Caption Maya's first day at UT. Ashley's college move-in 3 years later. Entire album. Parents helping decorate. Dad building her loft bed. Mom organizing her closet. Caption after caption. Our baby's college journey begins. Report cards through the years. Mine filed away with no comment. Ashley's covered in stickers and notes. You tried so hard on a C-. Nothing on my straight A's. I find academic awards. National Merit Scholar Certificate. Presidential Scholar Recognition. Dean's List every semester. All filed in a manila folder, no fanfare. Ashley's participation trophies from youth sports. Each one in the album with date and detailed caption about the achievement. I take photos of everything. Create my own digital archive. Every piece of evidence that I'm not crazy, that this pattern is real. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer cautiously. Maya Chen, yes. This is Detective Barnes with Houston PD. I'm calling about a complaint filed by Linda Chen, your mother. She filed a harassment report saying you've been sending threatening messages. My stomach drops. I sent one email, explaining why I need space. I haven't threatened anyone. Can you forward me that email I do? Right there on the call. Include the photo albums, the financial spreadsheet, everything. I'm also sending you proof of their 47 attempts to contact me after I asked for no contact. If anyone's harassing anyone, it's them harassing me. Silence while he reads. It feels like hours. Miss Chen, I've read your email. I've seen the call logs. I don't see any threatening behavior from you. I do see a lot of contact attempts from your family after you explicitly asked for space. So I'm not in trouble, no. But I'd recommend documenting everything going forward. If they continue after you've asked them to stop, that becomes harassment on their end. He pauses. And Miss Chen, I've worked family cases for 15 years. What they did with your car, even if it's legal, it's not right. Take care of yourself. After we hang up, I sit there shaking. They filed a police report against me, tried to make me the criminal. I text Jennifer Wu. My mother filed a false police report claiming I'm harassing them. I just spoke with Detective Barnes. He cleared me, but I wanted you to know. Her response is immediate. Forward me everything. Detective's name, report number, your email to them, the call logs. We need to document this pattern. Tuesday morning, I arrive at Jennifer Wu's office at 1045. Downtown Austin, modern glass building, 7th floor. Her waiting room is tasteful. Quiet. The receptionist offers me water. Jennifer comes out at exactly 11 a.m. Mid-40s, sharp blazer, kind eyes behind modern glasses. Maya, thank you for coming. She leads me to her office. I've already read the email you sent to your family. Patricia forwarded it with your permission. And I saw the police report development. That's concerning. Her office is lined with law books and family photos. She gestures for me to sit. So, your parents sold your car without permission. Car was titled in their name, but you paid for it and restored it. They used the proceeds to fund your sister's equipment. You want to know your options. Yes, let me be direct. The car was legally theirs. Texas title law is clear. Whoever's on the title owns the vehicle. Your verbal agreement with your grandfather, your investment in parts and labor, none of that overrides the legal title. My heart sinks. However, Jennifer continues, you do have potential claims, unjust enrichment. You put significant money into improving their asset. If you can prove they held the title in trust for you, that changes things. But Maya, here's what a lawsuit would look like: 6 to 8 months of discovery, depositions, family testimony, 15 to 30,000 in legal fees. Your chances of winning are maybe 40%. And even if you win, collecting judgment against family is notoriously difficult. So I'd spend 30,000 to maybe get back 50,000 from people who might not pay, while destroying any remaining family relationships and spending a year in litigation. Yes. What would you advise? Jennifer looks at me directly. Don't sue. Not because you don't have a case, but because the emotional cost will exceed any financial recovery. Family court is brutal. They'll paint you as vindictive, ungrateful, spoiled. It doesn't matter that they're wrong, it matters that it will hurt. So there's nothing I can do. I didn't say that. I said don't sue. She flips to a new page. Here's what you can do. Document everything. Keep every text, email, voicemail. If they continue to contact you after you ask them to stop, that's harassment. Build a paper trail. Why? Because boundaries without enforcement are just suggestions. Right now, you've sent an email. That's good. But what happens when they ignore it? You need next steps ready. She writes something, slides it across. A name, a number. Dr. Sarah Patel, therapist who specializes in family estrangement and toxic family dynamics. I recommend every client in your situation see someone like her. I've never done therapy. Then now's a good time to start. Because Maya, your family didn't just take your car. They showed you they will take whatever they can reach. A therapist will help you understand healthy boundaries and how to maintain them. I take the paper, fold it carefully, put it in my purse. The false police report concerns me, Jennifer says. That's escalation. They're trying to control the narrative, make you the bad guy. We need to be ready for more of that. Like what? Showing up at your workplace, recruiting family members to pressure you, social media campaigns painting you as the villain, threats about Will's inheritance, cutting you off from family events. She looks at me seriously. When you set boundaries with people who've had unlimited access, they don't just accept it. They test it. They push. What do? You hold the line. You don't engage. You don't defend. You just repeat your boundary and enforce consequences. She stands. If things escalate to where you need legal intervention, cease and desist, let a restraining order, call me. But I hope it doesn't come to that. The consultation costs $400. I pay it without blinking. Less than I gave my parents for Mom's emergency car repair last October. In the parking lot, I sit in my Civic for a long time. Can't get the car back. Can't sue them without destroying myself. Can only document and set boundaries and hope they respect them. Which, based on the last 48 hours, seems unlikely. I call Dr. Sarah Patel. Leave a message. She calls back within an hour. Maya, Jennifer Wu referred you. I have an opening Thursday at 4 if that works. That works. Jennifer gave me a brief overview. I want you to know that what you're going through, setting boundaries with family who've treated you as a resource, is incredibly difficult. But it's also incredibly important. I look forward to meeting you. Wednesday, I'm at my desk when my boss James stops by. Maya, you got a minute? In his office, door closed, he looks uncomfortable. I got a call this morning. From your father. My blood runs cold. What he said, there's a family emergency and you're having some kind of breakdown. Said I should be aware that you might be unstable at work. I can't speak. They called my boss. Tried to sabotage my job. Maya, I'm telling you this because I want you to know I didn't believe him for a second. I've worked with you for 5 years. You're one of the most stable, reliable people I know. He leans forward. Is there something going on I should know about? My family and I are having a disagreement. I've set some boundaries. They're not handling it well. I'm so sorry they contacted you. Don't apologize. I'm asking because I want to support you, not because I believe his story. He's serious now. Maya, if they contact me again, I'm not taking the call. And if they show up here, security will escort them out. You're valuable to this team. Whatever's happening with your family doesn't change that. I cry right there in his office. From relief. From rage. From exhaustion. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for not believing them. Of course. Now go take the afternoon off. You look like you need a break. I drive home in a daze. They tried to destroy my job, my career, the one thing I built completely without them. At home I call Jennifer Wu. They called my boss, tried to tell him I'm unstable, tried to make him fire me. That's defamation. That's tortious interference with employment. Her voice is sharp. Maya, we need to file for a restraining order. Against my parents. Against your parents. This has escalated beyond family drama. False police report. Violation of your no-contact request multiple times. Attempted employment sabotage. A judge will see this as harassment. Do it. She drafts the petition that afternoon. We file electronically by 5 p.m. The hearing is set for 2 weeks out. In the meantime, temporary order in place. They can't contact me. Can't come within 200 yards of my home or workplace. Sheriff's deputies will serve them the papers tomorrow. That night I'm alone in my apartment with all the curtains closed. Marcus texts every hour. Priya sends food delivery. Patricia calls to check in. I don't tell them about the restraining order yet. Need to sit with it. Need to process that I just filed legal action against my own parents. I open my journal. Write day 3. They tried to take my job. Tomorrow a judge will tell them they can't contact me. I'm not backing down. I'm terrified. But I'm not backing down. I fall asleep, wondering what my life looks like on the other side of this. Wondering if there is another side. Wondering if family can be repaired once it's this broken. But also knowing the alternative, going back, accepting mistreatment, pretending, would cost me something more valuable than family. It would cost me myself. And that's the one thing I'm finally learning is not for sale. The sheriff's deputy serves the restraining order papers on Thursday morning at 9:47 a.m. I know because Patricia texts me the moment it happens. Just saw the deputy leave your parents' house. Your mother threw the papers on the ground. Your father threatened to sue everyone involved. The deputy told him that's not how restraining orders work. I'm sitting in a coffee shop near my apartment when I read it. Neutral territory. Public place. Somewhere I feel safe while waiting for the inevitable explosion. It comes at 10:03 a.m. My phone starts buzzing even though most numbers are blocked. They're calling from new numbers, different phones, family friends, anyone whose contact they can use. I don't answer, just screenshot each attempt, add it to the file Jennifer Wu is keeping. At 10:47 my work email pings. Email from Dad's personal account to my work address. Since you've made it impossible to reach you through normal channels, I'm forced to use this method. A restraining order, Maya. Against your own parents, you should be ashamed. We raised you better than this. Your mother is devastated. She can barely function. You're destroying this family over a car and your own selfishness. If you have any decency left, you'll withdraw this order and come home. You have until Friday. After that, don't expect us to forgive you. Dad. I forward it to Jennifer, to James so he has documentation, to myself at 3 different email addresses. Then I reply, this email violates the restraining order. All contact must cease. Further violations will be reported to the court and law enforcement. Send. I close my laptop, hands shaking but mind clear. They're going to push every boundary until the court forces them to stop. My phone rings. Marcus. I saw the email. Are you okay? Define okay. Fair point. Want company? Yes. Please. He shows up 20 minutes later with Priya. They've coordinated. Priya has snacks. Marcus has his lawyer face on. They're going to violate the temporary order until the hearing, Marcus says. That's the pattern. They push until they face real consequences. The hearing is in 12 days. Can you make it 12 days? I think about it. Really think. Yes, I can make it 12 days. We spend the afternoon at my apartment. Marcus updates the violation log. Every call attempt, every email, every proxy contact. Priya makes me eat and drink water. At 4 p.m., I have my first therapy session with Dr. Sarah Patel. Her office is in a converted house near downtown. Soft lighting, comfortable chairs, white noise machine making everything feel private and safe. She steps out at exactly 4 p.m. Dark hair pulled back, warm brown eyes, dressed casually. Maya, I'm Sarah. Come on back. Her office is smaller than expected. 2 chairs facing each other. Bookshelves full of titles about family systems and trauma. A window overlooking a garden. First session is always awkward, she says. So let's start with basics. What brought you here? My parents sold my car without asking to pay for my sister's equipment. And I'm realizing it's part of a much bigger pattern. Jennifer Wu called me. Gave me permission to tell you she refers a lot of clients like you. Adult children of narcissistic parents. Scapegoat golden child dynamics. Does that language resonate? It's weird hearing clinical terms from my family. Sometimes naming the thing gives you power over it. She picks up a notepad. Tell me about the car. I do. The whole story. Grandpa leaving it to me. 3 years of restoration. Putting it in their name for insurance. The New Year's Day discovery. Sarah takes notes. Doesn't interrupt. Lets me talk until I run out of words. That's the inciting incident. But you said it's part of a bigger pattern. Tell me about that. I tell her about the photo albums, the cropped pictures, the $55,000, Ashley's Sweet 16 versus my Chili's Polaroid. How long have you felt invisible in your family? The question catches me off guard. Always is a long time. Let's pinpoint when you first remember feeling like you didn't matter as much as your sister. I think back. I was 8. Science fair. First place. I came home excited to tell them, but Ashley had fallen off monkey bars and scraped her knee. Mom spent the whole evening comforting her. Dad took her for ice cream. I showed them my trophy and Mom said, "That's nice, sweetie," and went right back to Ashley. How did that make you feel? Like my achievement didn't matter? Like Ashley's scraped knee was more important than my first place trophy? And how did you respond? I stopped telling them things. Stopped expecting them to care. Started handling my achievements myself. Sarah writes something. That's learned helplessness. You learned that sharing success didn't result in celebration, so you stopped sharing. But Maya, that's not your fault. That's your parents failing to see you. The words hit different coming from a professional. Someone trained to understand family dynamics confirming, yes, this is real, this is damage. Why do they do it? Why does Ashley get everything and I get nothing? The answer is usually complicated. Sometimes the scapegoat child is more competent, more independent. Parents interpret that as not needing support. Sometimes the golden child reflects something parents want to see in themselves. Sometimes it's random role assignment that gets reinforced over decades. So it's not something I did wrong, no. You couldn't have prevented this by being different or better. This is about them, not you. I start crying, relief tears, because someone with credentials is telling me what I've suspected but couldn't believe. I thought I was being too sensitive. That's part of the pattern too. Gaslighting, making you doubt your perception. She hands me tissues. Maya, everything you described, that's textbook scapegoat treatment. You're not imagining it. We spend the rest of the hour talking about boundaries, what they are, why I need them, how to maintain them. Boundaries aren't walls, Sarah explains. They're gates. You decide who gets through and when. Right now, your parents have unlimited access. Boundaries mean you get to say no. How do I do that without destroying the relationship? Here's the hard truth you might not be able to. Healthy relationships can handle boundaries. Unhealthy ones fall apart when boundaries appear. If setting boundaries destroys your relationship with your parents, the relationship was already broken. The session ends with homework. Write down my boundaries. Practice saying them out loud. Prepare for escalation. I leave feeling raw but lighter. Like I've been carrying something heavy, and someone finally acknowledged the weight. At home, I make tea. Open my journal. I write, boundaries, I need no contact unless I initiate. No showing up at my apartment. No demanding money. No dismissing my achievements. No making me responsible for Ashley's feelings. Friday afternoon. Ashley texts from a new number. Maya, I know you don't want to talk to me, but I need to tell you something. Mom and Dad asked my therapist to write a letter saying your actions have been harmful to my mental health. She refused. Said it would be unethical. They got really mad. I thought you should know. I screenshot it. Send it to Jennifer. Don't reply to Ashley. But I save the number. She keeps trying. Keeps showing up in small ways. The weekend passes slowly. Marcus checks in every few hours. Priya sends food delivery. Patricia calls with updates. They're planning something, Patricia says Sunday evening. Your father's been on the phone with lawyers all weekend. He wants to contest the restraining order. Can he do that? He can try. But with the violation attempts you've documented, it'll be harder. Monday morning, I wake to an email from HR. Dear Maya, following last week's incident, we've updated your security clearance. Your photo has been sent to all building security. If your mother or father appear at any Vertex Tech location, they will be detained and police will be called. Your safety is our priority. My company is protecting me. My boss believes me. My coworkers know I'm not the problem. It's the opposite of what my family trained me to expect. Tuesday therapy session number 2. How was the week? I tell her about the restraining order, about the emails, about my father using my work email. How do you feel about filing the order? Guilty, relieved, terrified, all at once. The guilt is what they trained into you. The relief and terror are your authentic responses to protecting yourself. She makes a note. You're doing hard work. Setting boundaries with family who have unlimited access is traumatic. You're going to have moments where you want to give in. I'm already having those moments. What's important is what you do with them. Do you hold the boundary or cave? I don't know yet. Let me tell you what I've seen. People who cave usually regret it within days. The pattern doesn't change. People who hold the boundary go through hell for a few weeks, but on the other side, they have freedom. What if the family never comes around? Then you've lost people who were never truly there for you. That's real grief. But Maya, you can't sacrifice yourself. Trying to earn love from people who've shown you for 26 years, they're not capable of giving it. Wednesday evening, I do something new. I look at classic car listings online. Not Mustangs. Can't do that. But there's a 1969 Camaro in Dallas. Needs full restoration. $28,000. I can afford it. My salary plus promotion plus not giving family money anymore. I bookmark the listing. Don't buy it yet, but knowing I could makes something in my chest unclench. Thursday, Jennifer calls. The hearing is Monday. Are you ready? No? But I'm doing it anyway. Good answer. We're going to prepare this weekend. Mock questioning. Practice staying calm when they attack your character. Friday evening, Marcus comes over with pizza and determination. We're doing trial prep. I'm going to play your father. Make you practice not reacting. We spend 3 hours rehearsing. Him saying terrible things in character. Me learning to breathe. To say calmly, the evidence speaks for itself. By the end, I'm exhausted but steadier. You've got this, Marcus says. You know the truth. The judge will see it. Saturday morning, Patricia calls. The hearing is Monday. I'll be there. You're not facing them alone. Thank you. Maya, whatever happens, you did the right thing. Your grandfather would be proud. Sunday night, I can't sleep. Keep thinking about Monday. About facing my parents in court. About a judge deciding if they have to stay away from me by law. I get up at 3 a.m., make tea, sit at my kitchen table with Grandpa's photo. I hope I'm doing this right, I whisper to it. I hope you'd understand. In my mind, I hear his voice. Sometimes you have to let go of what's broken to build something new. I go back to bed, sleep fitfully. Dream of courtrooms and gavels and freedom I'm not sure I'm allowed to want. Monday morning arrives too fast and too slow. The hearing is at 9 a.m. I'm ready. I'm terrified, but I'm ready. Jennifer meets me at the courthouse steps at 8:30 a.m. The hearing is at 9. I'm wearing navy pants, white blouse, blazer. Professional, competent, nothing like the unstable daughter they'll claim I am. Your parents are already here, Jennifer says, with their lawyer. And Ashley. Ashley's here as a witness, apparently. My stomach knots. Haven't seen Ashley in person since the ring camera confrontation. Haven't seen my parents since New Year's Day. We go through security, walk to courtroom 4C. The hallway is full of other broken families waiting their turn. I see them before they see me. Mom in a conservative dress, tissues already in hand. Dad in a suit, jaw set, radiating anger. Ashley beside them, looking small and scared. Their lawyer is older, expensive suit, the kind you hire when you plan to fight hard. They see me. Mom's face crumples. Dad's goes hard. Ashley looks away. We wait in opposite corners, not speaking. 30 feet apart, but might as well be continents. At 9:00, the bailiff calls us in. Judge Margaret Torres enters. Latina woman, 50s, reading glasses, expression that says, she's seen everything. Case number 2025, FM 1847, Maya Chen petitioning for protective order against Robert and Linda Chen. She looks up. A daughter seeking protection from her parents. That's unusual. Let's hear why. Jennifer stands. Your Honor, my client seeks a 12-month protective order due to ongoing harassment, violation of no contact requests, false police report, and attempted employment interference. We have extensive documentation. I'll hear from Miss Chen first. I walk to the witness stand. Get sworn in. Sit down. Jennifer guides me through the timeline. The car sale. The no contact request. 47 attempts to contact me in 3 days. The false police report. The call to my employer. How did you feel when your father called your boss terrified? I've worked 5 years to build my career. The idea that they would try to destroy it. Objection, their lawyer stands. Speculation about intent. Sustained. Stick to facts, Miss Chen. Jennifer nods. What did your boss say? He said my father claimed I was unstable and making threats. He asked if it was true. I told him we were having a disagreement, and I'd set boundaries. He said he didn't believe my father. Do you have documentation? Yes. My boss sent me an email confirming the call. Jennifer enters it into evidence. Then enters the financial records. The call logs. The ring camera footage. The photo timeline spanning 26 years. The judge takes the binder. Flips through it slowly. Her expression doesn't change, but she takes her time. This is quite thorough. My client has been documenting a pattern for years, Your Honor. The car was the incident that made her realize she needed protection. Their lawyer stands. Your Honor, my clients are loving parents who made a legal decision about property they legally owned. Their daughter has blown a family disagreement into a legal matter because she didn't get her way. This isn't harassment. This is a family trying to reach a daughter who's cutting them off irrationally. I'll hear from your clients. Mr. Chen, take the stand. Dad walks up, gets sworn in, sits with his back straight, every inch the respectable businessman. Their lawyer leads him through their version. The car was in their name. They made a parenting decision. Maya overreacted, sent a hurtful email, filed this order to punish them. Did you attempt to contact your daughter? After she asked for no contact, we were concerned. The email showed she was in distress. We wanted to help. 47 times in 3 days. We were worried. And the call to her employer, I thought they should know she was going through something. For her protection. Jennifer stands for cross-examination. Mr. Chen, your daughter asked for no contact. Correct. She sent an emotional email, yes. An email that explicitly stated she needed space. Correct. She was upset, yes or no. Did she ask for no contact? She said she needed space. And you contacted her 47 times in 3 days. We were concerned parents. When she didn't respond to 47 attempts, did you stop? We needed to reach her. So no, you didn't stop. Jennifer walks to the table, picks up a paper. Did you tell her employer she was unstable? Dad's jaw clenches. I expressed concern. Did you use the words breakdown and making threats? I may have. Was your daughter having a breakdown? She was acting irrationally, Mr. Chen, your daughter was just promoted to Director of Engineering. Does that sound like someone having a breakdown? Silence? No further questions. Mom takes the stand next, cries through most of her testimony, says she doesn't understand what she did wrong, says the restraining order is killing her, says she's had to see a doctor for anxiety. Jennifer's cross is gentle but firm. Mrs. Chen, when your daughter won regional robotics at 15, did you attend? I don't remember. Your daughter remembers. You didn't attend because Ashley had cheer practice. Mom dabs her eyes. It was a long time ago. When your daughter graduated summa cum laude, did you stay for the full ceremony? We had somewhere to be. You left early for Ashley's sorority event. Correct. My other daughter needed. I'm asking about Maya. When was the last time you celebrated one of Maya's achievements with the same energy you celebrate Ashley's? Mom's face crumbles. I love both my daughters equally. That's not what I asked. Judge Torres intervenes. Miss Wu, you've made your point. Closing arguments are brief. Their lawyer paints me as vindictive. Jennifer paints my parents as controlling and unable to respect boundaries. Judge Torres doesn't take long. I've reviewed the evidence, the photos, the financial records, the communications log. She looks at my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, I believe you love your daughter. But love without respect isn't healthy love. Your daughter is 26. She has the right to set boundaries. She asked you not to contact her. You contacted her 47 times in 3 days. That's harassment. Mom starts crying harder. The call to her employer is particularly concerning. Attempting to interfere with an adult child's employment because they've set boundaries is controlling behavior. She picks up her gavel. I'm granting a 12-month protective order. No contact of any kind. No physical presence within 200 yards of petitioner's residence or workplace. No third-party contact. Violation will result in contempt charges and possible jail time. The gavel comes down. Mom sobs. Dad's face goes purple. Ashley stares at her hands. I sit very still, feeling everything and nothing. In the hallway, Dad turns to me. The bailiff steps between us. Sir, the order is active now. Dad speaks over him. You've destroyed this family. I hope you're happy. I look at him. Really look. I didn't destroy anything. I just stopped pretending it wasn't already broken. Mom rushes forward. The bailiff blocks her. How can you do this to your own mother? How could you sell my car? How could you dismiss every achievement? How could you treat me like I don't matter for 26 years and expect me to be grateful? Patricia appears at my elbow. Maya, let's go. We walk away. Behind us, Mom's wails echo off marble. In Jennifer's office an hour later, I'm still shaking. You did it, she says. You held your ground and won. Why don't I feel like I won because you didn't win? You just got protection from people who should have loved you better. That's not victory. That's tragedy. I start crying, grief tears, for the family I needed, For the parents who will never be what I want. Patricia drives me home. Marcus and Priya arrive. We sit in my living room in silence. Around 9 p.m. my phone buzzes. Text from Ashley's latest number. I'm sorry for all of it. I'm starting therapy next week. Real therapy. Not for mom and dad. For me. I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. But I'm going to try to be better, even if it's too late. I read it 3 times. Show Marcus. What do you think? I think she's 23 and waking up. Whether that leads anywhere, only time will tell. I don't respond. But I don't block the number either. That night alone, with a court order protecting me from my parents, I opened my journal. Today, a judge said, I have the right to protect myself from the people who raised me. I thought I'd feel triumphant. Instead, I feel sad, but also free. Free from hoping they'll change. The next 12 months, I get to build a life without their interference. After that, we'll see. I fall asleep with the court order on my nightstand. Official. Final. Protection with teeth. Tomorrow, I'll figure out what comes next. Tonight, I just need to survive the weight of choosing myself over the family that never chose me. The day after the court hearing, I wake up at 6 a.m. even though it's Tuesday and I could sleep in. My body won't let me. My mind won't stop replaying the judge's gavel, my father's purple face, my mother's sobs. I make coffee. Sit at my kitchen table. Stare at the court order sitting next to my laptop. 12 months. 365 days of legal protection. My phone is silent. No calls, no texts. The restraining order is working. The silence is louder than the noise ever was. Marcus texts at 7:30. You up, yeah? Can't sleep. Coming over. Bringing breakfast. He shows up with tacos and orange juice, and that look of determination, that means he's been planning something. I made you a timeline, he says, pulling out his laptop. But different. This one's about you. Just you. No family. Just Maya Chen's achievements month by month for the last 5 years. He turns the screen toward me. January 2020. Hired as junior software engineer March 2020. First successful project deployment July 2020. Promoted to software engineer October 2020. Led team of 3 December 2020. Performance bonus. The list goes on. Page after page. Every promotion. Every project. Every award. I wanted you to see what your life actually looks like without them in it, Marcus says. You've been killing it. While they were dismissing you, you were building an actual career. I scroll through it, see myself clearly. Not as the disappointing daughter, just as Maya. Software engineer, director, professional who leads teams and gets promoted ahead of schedule. Thank you. I needed to see this. We spend the morning doing normal things. Grocery shopping, cleaning, watching a movie. Marcus doesn't leave until 3 p.m. I'm not okay, but I'm managing. Monday at work, I'm at my desk by 8 a.m. Code doesn't judge. Projects don't care about family drama. Priya stops by at lunch. Want to grab food at the Thai place, she waits until we're seated before speaking. How are you really doing? I got a restraining order against my parents on Saturday. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to be doing. However you're doing is exactly right. She picks at her spring roll. When I went no contact with my brother, the first few weeks were the worst. I kept expecting him to show up. When he didn't, I felt relieved and devastated. That's exactly it. I wanted them to stop. They stopped. Now I'm sad that they stopped. That's grief. You're grieving the parents you needed them to be. She looks at me directly. The grief doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. Back at the office, my boss James calls me in. How are you holding up? I'm fine. Working. Maya, you're allowed to not be fine. You got a restraining order 2 days ago. That's heavy. He leans forward. Are you okay? The kindness breaks something open. I start crying in his office for the second time. I don't know how to be okay with choosing myself over them. He hands me tissues. Waits. My dad and I didn't speak for 3 years. Different reasons. But same feeling. You know what got me through what, remembering that I didn't create the situation. I just responded to it. You didn't make your parents sell your car. You didn't make them harass you. You just protected yourself. He stands. Take the afternoon off. The code will still be here tomorrow. I drive home at 2 p.m., crawl into bed even though it's Monday afternoon. Sleep for 3 hours. Wake disoriented from a dream I can't remember. My phone shows 2 texts. Patricia checking in. How are you, Ashley? From newest number. I know you can't respond. Restraining order covers me too since I'm living at home. But I wanted you to know I moved out today. Got my own apartment, a studio. Paying for it with my actual job I got last week. Marketing coordinator, entry level. Exactly what I should have done a year ago. Therapy is hard. I'm learning things I don't like. Hope you're okay. Hope someday you can forgive me. I read Ashley's text 5 times. She got a job, moved out. Started therapy. Small steps but real ones. I don't respond. Can't without violating my boundary. But I saved the text. Screenshot it. Add it to a folder labeled Maybe Someday. Wednesday evening therapy with Dr. Patel. How was the hearing? I tell her everything. The judge's ruling. My father's rage. My mother's tears. The 12 months of legal separation. How do you feel? Guilty, like I destroyed my family. Did you destroy your family or reveal it was already broken? The question sits heavy. True, they sold my car. I set a boundary. They violated it 47 times. I protected myself. That's not destroying. That's responding to destruction that already happened. Exactly. You didn't create this situation. You finally stopped accepting it. She makes a note. The guilt you're feeling is what they trained into you. Every time you set a limit, they made you feel guilty. That guilt kept you compliant. How do I stop feeling guilty? You probably won't. Not completely. Not for a while. But you can recognize the guilt as a learned response instead of truth. You can feel guilty and still know you did the right thing. She gives me homework. Write a letter to my 8-year-old self, the one who won the science fair and came home to parents who cared more about Ashley's scraped knee. At home that night, I pull out my journal. Start writing. Dear 8-year-old Maya, you deserved a parade. You deserved parents who dropped everything to see your volcano explode in victory. You deserve to matter. I write for an hour. Cry through most of it. Tell young Maya everything I wish someone had told me. By the end, I'm not writing to 8-year-old Maya anymore. I'm writing to myself. You deserve boundaries. You deserve respect. You deserve to protect yourself. You deserve relationships that don't require you to be small. You deserve better than what they gave you. I read it over, feel something shift, not healing. But acknowledgement, the beginning of believing maybe I'm worth what I'm asking for. Thursday, Marcus texts. Dinner tonight, my place. Priya's coming. Pizza and bad TV. I go. We eat pizza and watch reality TV and don't talk about my family at all. First evening in 2 weeks where I don't think about the restraining order. I just exist. Laugh. Feel almost normal. Around 9 p.m. Priya's phone buzzes. She looks at it. Her face changes. Maya. Your mom just posted on Facebook. She shows me. I read even though I shouldn't. Day 5 without contact from our daughter. The restraining order prevents us from reaching out. We're respecting the court's decision even though it breaks our hearts. We pray daily that Maya finds peace and realizes family is forever. We love you, sweetheart. We're here when you're ready to come home. Mom and Dad. Comments flood with sympathy, praying for you. She'll come around. But also Aunt Patricia's comment. Linda, this post violates the spirit of no contact. Stop making this public. Stop using emotional manipulation. Respect your daughter's boundaries. Mom deleted the comment within minutes. But Priya screenshotted it first. She's trying to control the narrative, Marcus says. Make herself the victim. Should I respond? No, Priya says firmly. Don't engage. Let her tell whatever story she wants. The people who matter know the truth. I screenshot the post anyway. Send it to Jennifer Wu. Is this a violation? She responds immediately. Technically, no. Public posts aren't direct contact, but it shows intent to manipulate. Keep documenting. Friday afternoon, I'm in a meeting when my desk phone rings. Unknown local number. I almost don't answer. But I do. Maya Chen. Miss Chen, this is Principal Rodriguez from Westwood High School. I'm calling because we have a visitor here asking for you. She says she's your mother. My blood runs cold. I have a restraining order. She's not allowed within 200 yards of my workplace. I understand. That's why I'm calling. Security has been notified. She's being escorted off property. I wanted you to know. Thank you. Please call police if she doesn't leave. Already done. Officers are on the way. I hang up, hands shaking. She came to my workplace. After the judge explicitly said she couldn't. After everything. I called Jennifer immediately. She violated the order, showed up at my office. Security is removing her. Get security footage. Get written statement from whoever saw her. File police report. This is contempt of court. There will be consequences. I do everything, Jennifer says. Security sends footage. Mom at front desk asking for me. Arguing with security. Being escorted out by police. Police report filed by 3 p.m. Jennifer files motion for contempt by 5 p.m. Hearing scheduled for next week. What happens if the judge finds her in contempt? Fine. Possible jail time. Extension of restraining order. It shows the court your parents won't respect boundaries even with legal consequences. That night I can't sleep. Keep thinking about Mom at my office building. How close she got. What would have happened if security hadn't stopped her? Saturday morning, Patricia calls. Your mother is spiraling. She's telling everyone she just wanted to talk. That she didn't know workplaces counted. That you're being cruel. The court order specifically says, my workplace. I know, but she's rewriting reality to make herself the victim. Patricia sighs. Your father wants to contest the restraining order. He's talking to lawyers. Can he do that? He can try. But with your mom's violation, it'll be harder. I spend Saturday cleaning, doing laundry, normal tasks that make me feel grounded. Sunday, I go for a drive. No destination, just driving. End up at a storage unit where I kept Grandpa's tools. Stand in front of the empty unit where the Mustang used to sit. I think about the car, about Grandpa, about 3 years of weekends. It's gone. Really gone. Not coming back. But I'm still here. My phone buzzes. Text from Ashley. Mom's in trouble for violating the order, isn't she? Dad's furious. Blaming you. I told him it's not your fault she showed up at your office. He told me to shut up or get out. I'm at a coffee shop. Just wanted you to know I'm on your side even if I can't say it to your face. I don't respond, but I screenshot the text. Add it to maybe someday. Monday morning email from HR. Dear Maya, following Friday's incident, we've updated your security clearance. Your photo has been sent to all building security. If your mother or father appear at any Vertex Tech location, they will be detained and police will be called. Your safety is our priority. My company is protecting me. My boss believes me. My coworkers know I'm not the problem. It's the opposite of what my family trained me to expect. Tuesday therapy, I tell Dr. Patel about the workplace violation. How did it make you feel? Scared, angry, but also vindicated? Like I needed proof I'm not overreacting and she just gave it to me. You shouldn't need proof, but I understand why it helps. She makes a note. Maya, you're 1 week into a 12-month order. How are you going to sustain this? I don't know. Build a life so full that their absence becomes background noise instead of the main event. Work, friends, hobbies, therapy, routine. Fill your life with things that matter, and slowly the grief gets smaller. It doesn't feel small. It won't for a while. But every day you choose yourself, it gets easier. Not because grief goes away, but because you get stronger. That evening, I do something I haven't done in weeks. I go to the gym, not to punish myself, just to move. To remember, I exist in physical space. I run on the treadmill, let my mind go blank. By mile 3, I'm crying. By mile 4, I'm not. I open my journal, write one line. Week 1, still standing, still choosing me, still free. Tomorrow there's another contempt hearing. More court. More proof they can't respect boundaries. But tonight I'm just Maya, not the scapegoat, not the family drama, just me, safe behind legal boundaries and the growing certainty that I deserve better. It's not the life I planned, but it's mine. And that's starting to feel like enough. The contempt hearing is Wednesday at 10 a.m. I arrive at the courthouse at 9:30 with Jennifer Wu and Patricia. Same courthouse, different courtroom, same Judge Torres. Mom and Dad are already there with Mr. Donovan. Mom's eyes are red, Dad's jaw is set. They don't look at me when I walk in. The bailiff calls us to order. Judge Torres enters, takes her seat, reviews her notes. Contempt hearing in the matter of Chen protective order. Miss Chen alleges respondent Linda Chen violated the order by appearing at petitioner's workplace on Friday, January 10th. Jennifer stands, presents the security footage, the written statement from building security, the police report. My sworn statement about the phone call from the front desk. Judge Torres watches the footage. Mom at the reception desk, her mouth moving, clearly agitated. Security approaching. The escort out. Mrs. Chen, you were at Vertex Tech offices at 2:47 p.m. on Friday. Mom's lawyer stands. Your Honor, my client was confused about the terms. She believed workplace meant the specific building, not the entire company campus. The order says petitioner's workplace. Vertex Tech is petitioner's workplace. How is that confusing? My client is not a lawyer, Your Honor. She's a mother trying to reach her daughter by violating a court order. Judge Torres looks at Mom. Mrs. Chen, did you read the protective order? Yes, Your Honor. Did it say you couldn't contact your daughter at her workplace? Yes, but I thought that's a yes or no question. Yes. Did you go to her workplace anyway? Mom starts crying. I just wanted to talk to her, to explain, to make her understand we love her. Mrs. Chen, I explained at the last hearing that your daughter has the right to boundaries. She doesn't need to understand your love. She needs you to respect her no. Judge Torres makes a note. I find you in contempt of court. The penalty is a $500 fine and extension of the protective order by 6 months. Total order now 18 months. Additionally, if there's one more violation, you'll face jail time. Do you understand, Your Honor, please? Do you understand? Yes. The gavel comes down. In the hallway after Dad corners Jennifer. Not me. He's learned that much. This is ridiculous. A 6-month extension because she tried to talk to her daughter, Mr. Chen. The order is clear. Your wife violated it. Be grateful the judge didn't impose jail time. Jennifer guides me away. Let's go. In her office, Jennifer lays out the new timeline. 18 months starting from the original order date. That takes you to July 2026, a year and a half, unless they violate again. Then it could be longer. Or jail time. She closes her file. Sometimes people need real consequences before they take boundaries seriously. I go back to work, try to focus on code, on anything except the fact that my mother's attempt to contact me just added 6 months to our separation. At lunch, Priya finds me at my desk. Heard about the hearing. You okay? Define okay. We walk around the office park. January in Austin, gray and damp. My mom did something similar, Priya says. After I went no contact, showed up at my old apartment, harassed my former neighbors. They called the cops. What did you do? Nothing. I'd already moved, changed my number, built a new life she couldn't reach. Is that what I should do? Move maybe? If they keep escalating, but right now, you have a court order, police on your side. That's more than most people get. Back at my desk, I do something I've been thinking about. I pull up classic car listings, not Mustangs. Can't do that. But there's a 1,969 Camaro in Dallas. Needs full restoration. $28,000. I send an email. Still available. Can I see it this weekend? Response comes within an hour. Yes. Saturday afternoon work, I book it. Thursday evening therapy with Dr. Patel. Your mother violated the order. How do you feel vindicated? Like I needed proof I wasn't overreacting and she gave it to me. But also sad, because she can't even respect a court order. If she can't respect that, she'll never respect me. That's the grief talking. The realization that they're not going to change. So what do I do with that? You keep building your life without them in it. You stop waiting for them to give you what they can't give. She's right. I know she's right. But knowing and feeling are different things. I'm looking at cars, I tell her. Restoration projects. Like the Mustang, but different. How does that feel? Like I'm allowed to have nice things? Like they can't take this one. That's growth, Maya. Real growth. Friday after work, I go to a garage across town where classic car enthusiasts meet. Just to look. Just to be around people who understand why a car matters. There are maybe 20 people there. Various projects in different stages. A guy my age working on a Corvette. An older woman restoring a Nova. A couple tag-teaming a Charger. I stand in the doorway uncertain. The woman with the Nova looks up. You looking for something or just browsing? Just looking. I used to restore cars, taking a break, thinking about starting again. What'd you work on before 1967 Mustang Fastback? 3 years. Full restoration. Her eyes light up. Nice. You sell it. Something like that. She doesn't push, just nods. I'm Rachel. That's Tom on the Corvette. We're here most Friday nights if you want to come back. Always good to have another set of hands. I'm Maya. Thanks. I might. I stay for an hour. Just watching, listening to them talk about carburetors and paint jobs. The language of restoration. The community of people who understand that sometimes you take something broken and make it beautiful again. Saturday morning, Marcus drives me to Dallas. 3 hours up I-35. The seller's name is Tom Henderson. Retired mechanic. The Camaro belonged to his son who died 2 years ago. I can't look at it anymore, he tells us. But I can't junk it either. Need someone who'll finish what my boy started. The Camaro sits in his garage under a tarp. When he pulls it back, I see cherry red paint faded and damaged, rust along the wheel wells, interior torn up, engine in pieces in boxes along the wall. He got about 40% done before he got sick. Cancer. Fought for 18 months. The car, Saturday I walk around it. Check the frame. Look at the boxes of parts. Why are you selling? Because my daughter wants me to throw it away. Says it's depressing. Says I need to move on. He looks at the car with grief. But Jake loved this car. I can't just erase that. I'll finish it, I hear myself say. I'll finish what your son started. Tom's eyes get wet. You mean that I do? I just lost a car I spent 3 years restoring. I understand what it means to build something that matters. We shake on it. $28,000. He throws in all the parts, all the documentation, all of Jake's notes. Take care of her, he says, when we load it on the trailer. Jake would have wanted someone to finish it. Marcus and I drive back to Austin with the Camaro on the trailer. I keep checking the rear view mirror, making sure it's really there. Really mine. Title in my name only. At the storage garage I rented last week, we unload it. Set up the workspace. I stand looking at it for a long time. You okay? Marcus asks. I'm starting over. New car. New project. New life without them. That's not starting over. That's moving forward. There's a difference. That evening I host game night at my apartment. Marcus, Priya, Patricia, and me. 4 people who actually show up, who celebrate without diminishing. To Maya, Patricia raises her glass, who chose herself. To Maya, the others echo. We drink, eat good food, laugh. I don't check my phone. Don't think about my family. Don't wonder if they'd be proud. Because I'm proud. And that's starting to be enough. Night ends. Alone in apartment, peaceful, exhausted. I open my journal. Entry week 2. Some days easier than others, but every day I'm more myself. Work is thriving. Friendship is real. I have a car to restore and no one to take it. I'm not waiting for them to change anymore. I'm just living. Grandpa, I hope you see this. I'm doing it. I'm finally doing it. I fall asleep wondering what life looks like on the other side, wondering if there is another side, but also knowing it doesn't matter, because the alternative, going back accepting mistreatment, would cost me something more valuable than family. It would cost me myself. And that's one thing I'm finally learning is not for sale. 3 weeks after the contempt hearing, I'm sitting at the storage garage on a Saturday morning with the Camaro a toolbox and Jake Henderson's restoration notes spread across the workbench. The engine needs a complete rebuild. The body has rust damage that'll take months to repair. But it's mine. Title in my name, no one else's. Rachel from the Friday night car group stops by around 10 a.m. Heard you bought Tom Henderson's son's project. Mind if I look? Go ahead. She walks around it. Checks the frame. This is solid work. Good bones. You know what you're doing. I restored a Mustang. Same principles. Need an extra pair of hands sometimes. Are you offering? I restore cars because my daughter doesn't talk to me anymore. Easier to fix engines than relationships. She picks up a wrench. Figure we might as well fix engines together. I look at her. Really look. She's maybe 55, coveralls, grease under her nails, grief in her eyes that matches what I see in the mirror. I set boundaries with my family, I tell her. They didn't take it well. Court order, contempt hearing, the whole mess. My daughter told me I was toxic. Cut me off 3 years ago. Restraining order. I violated it once, spent 2 nights in jail. She picks up Jake's notes. But I'm in therapy now. Learning why she left. Learning to respect her no even when it hurts. Maybe someday she'll let me back in, maybe not. Either way, I'm learning to be better. Why are you telling me this? Because you look like someone on the other side. The daughter who had to leave. And I want you to know some of us are doing the work. Some of us are trying to change, even if it's too late. We work in silence for an hour. She helps me catalog parts, organize tools, make a restoration plan. I'm here Friday nights, she says when she leaves. And most Saturdays, if you need help, thanks, I might take you up on that. Monday morning at work, my boss James stops by my desk. Maya got a minute. In his office, he closes the door. I wanted to talk about the director position. You've been in role 3 months now. You're doing excellent work, leading the team well. I'm recommending you for Leadership Council. The Leadership Council, 6 people, reports directly to CEO, strategic direction for the company, 30% raise, stock options, your name on decisions that matter. I stare at him. I'm 26, and you're brilliant. Age doesn't matter. Performance does. He slides a folder across. Think about it. Let me know by end of week. I take the folder, walk back to my desk in a daze. Leadership Council, my name on doors, decisions that shape the company. The old Maya would have called her parents immediately. New Maya texts Marcus, got offered Leadership Council, huge promotion, that's real. That's you being brilliant and someone finally seeing it. I text Priya, Leadership Council, me. Somehow, not somehow, you earned it. That evening we celebrate. Marcus, Priya, Patricia, and me. Dinner at a nice restaurant downtown. 4 people who show up, who celebrate without diminishing. To Maya, Patricia raises her glass. Director to Leadership Council in 3 months. Your grandfather would be so proud. To Maya, the others echo. We drink, eat, laugh about stupid things. I don't check my phone. Don't think about my family. Don't wonder if they'd be proud. Because I'm proud. And that's enough. Tuesday evening therapy with Dr. Patel. How are you feeling about the promotion? Good. Proud, but also guilty. Why guilty? Because I'm succeeding. Thriving. While they're dealing with court orders and contempt charges and family fracturing, part of me feels like I should be suffering too. That's what they trained into you. The belief that your happiness comes at someone else's expense. She leans forward. Maya, your success isn't causing their problems. Their behavior is causing their problems. You're allowed to thrive while they face consequences. It feels wrong, because you've been taught that your role is to sacrifice, to be smaller so others can be bigger, but that's not healthy. That's not real family, she makes a note. Your thriving doesn't require their permission, and their suffering doesn't require your participation. Wednesday, I accept the Leadership Council position. Sign the paperwork. My new salary is $182,000. Stock options worth potentially $500,000. I'm 26 years old, making more money than both my parents combined. The thought should feel triumphant. Instead, it just feels quiet. Like closing a door that needed to be closed. Thursday evening at the garage, I'm working on the Camaro's engine when my phone buzzes. Text from Ashley's latest number. Maya, I know you can't respond, but I wanted to tell you something. I got my first paycheck from my actual job today. $2,100 after taxes. I bought groceries with my own money. Paid my rent with my own money. It felt good. Really good. I'm learning what you already knew. That building something yourself matters more than having it handed to you. Thank you for showing me that. Even if it took losing you to learn it. I read it 3 times, screenshot it, add it to maybe someday. Don't respond, but don't delete it either. Friday night at the car meetup, more people show up. Tom with his Corvette. Mike and Sandra with their Charger. 3 others I haven't met. Rachel introduces me around. This is Maya. Bought Tom Henderson's son's Camaro. Doing full restoration. They welcome me like I belong. Ask about my plan. Offer advice on parts and paint shops. We're doing a group order from Classic Car Warehouse next month, Tom says. You need anything better bulk pricing. I'll make a list. We work until 9 p.m., everyone on their own projects but together. The sound of tools and music and occasional laughter. When I leave, Rachel walks me to my car. You're doing okay, kid. How can you tell? Because you showed up, bought a project, started building something new. That's what healing looks like. She pauses. My daughter hasn't spoken to me in 3 years. I respect that. I hate it, but I respect it. You don't owe your parents that hope. But someone out there might be doing the work for you. Saturday, I wake to an email from HR. Dear Maya, we're pleased to inform you that your nomination to the Leadership Council has been approved by the CEO. Congratulations! Your new title is Senior Director of Engineering Leadership Council, effective immediately. I forward it to Marcus, Priya, Patricia. Their responses flood in. Celebration, pride, congratulations that feel real. I don't tell my family. Don't post on social media. Don't share with anyone who might tell them. This achievement is mine. Built without them. Celebrated without them. Sunday afternoon, I'm at the garage when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer. But I do. Maya, it's Tom Henderson, the seller, Mr. Henderson. Hi, is everything okay? More than okay? My daughter came by yesterday. Saw the Camaro was gone, asked where it went. I told her about you. About how you're going to finish what Jake started. His voice catches. She cried. Said it was the right thing. Said Jake would have loved that someone's finishing his car. First time we've agreed on anything since he died. I'm glad, me too. And Maya. Whatever you lost before you bought this car, I hope you find something better. I think I'm starting to. Monday, 4 weeks post restraining order. I realize something. I haven't checked the family group chat in a week. Haven't thought about them in days. My life is full of work and friends and the Camaro and therapy and Friday night garage sessions. Their absence is becoming background noise instead of the main event. Tuesday therapy, I tell Dr. Patel this. That's significant progress. How does it feel, lighter? Like I'm not carrying them everywhere anymore. That's because you're building a life that doesn't revolve around earning their approval. You're building for yourself. Is it always going to be this hard? No. It gets easier. Not because the grief goes away completely, but because you get stronger. The life you're building becomes more real than the family you lost. Wednesday evening, Priya invites me to a work happy hour. I almost say no, but then I remember Dr. Patel's words about filling my life. I go, drink 1 beer, talk to colleagues about projects and deadlines. Normal things. Someone asks about my weekend plans. I'm restoring a 1969 Camaro, working on it most Saturdays, like a hobby, like a therapy. They laugh, ask questions. Someone else mentions they've always wanted to learn about cars. I offer to show them the garage sometime. It's the first time I've invited someone into that space. The first time it feels like community instead of solitude. Thursday, I'm at my desk when an envelope arrives via inter-office mail. From James. Inside is a printed certificate. Senior Director of Engineering Leadership Council. Maya Chen. My name. My title. Official. I frame it. Hang it on my office wall next to my other certificates. Create a wall of achievements they never saw, never celebrated, never acknowledged. But I see them. And that's enough. Friday evening at the garage, Rachel and I work on the Camaro's body. Grinding rust, prepping for paint. You seem different, she says. Lighter. I got a big promotion this week, and I realized I went 3 days without thinking about my family. That's healing. That's what it looks like when you stop waiting for them to change and start living anyway. Does it ever stop hurting, the acute pain? Yes. The grief. It becomes something you carry instead of something that carries you. She sets down her grinder. My daughter will probably never talk to me again. I've accepted that, but I'm still doing the work to be better. Not for her anymore. For me? Why? Because I deserve to be better than I was, even if she never sees it. Saturday morning, 5 weeks into the restraining order, I wake up and realize I slept through the night. No nightmares, no 3 a.m. anxiety, just sleep. I make coffee, sit at my kitchen table, look at the court order on my fridge. 13 months left. It feels manageable now, not like a countdown to reconciliation. Just time. Time to build. Time to heal. Time to become someone who doesn't need their approval to know she's enough. I open my journal. Write week 5. Life is happening. Career soaring. Project beginning. Family absent, but I'm not empty. Learning that I can build a life they can't touch. Learning that their opinion isn't required for my happiness. Still grief, but also growth. I close the journal, get ready to go to the garage. My phone buzzes. Text from Patricia. Just wanted to check in. How are you doing? Actually, I'm doing okay. Really okay. Good. You deserve to be okay. You deserve to be happy. I'm starting to believe that. At the garage, I spend 4 hours on the Camaro. Rachel works alongside me. Tom stops by to check progress. We order lunch, eat together, talk about cars and life and nothing heavy. It's the most normal I've felt in months. Driving home that evening, I pass the exit that leads to Houston, to my parents' house, to my childhood. I don't take it. Don't even slow down, just drive past, and it doesn't hurt as much as it used to. That night I'm making dinner when my phone rings. Jennifer Wu. Maya, I wanted to give you an update. Your parents' lawyer contacted me. They're requesting mediation. My heart stops. What does that mean? They want to meet. Neutral third party. Discuss potential reconciliation. Do I have to know? You don't have to do anything. The restraining order stands regardless, but if you're open to it, mediation could provide closure. Either way, can I think about it? Of course. No pressure, no timeline, just wanted you to know the option exists. After we hang up, I sit with it. Mediation, reconciliation, closure. Do I want it? Do I need it? I don't know yet, but I have time to figure it out. 13 months of time, and a life that's full enough to wait. I spend 3 days thinking about Jennifer's call. Mediation. My parents requesting it. A neutral third party. Potential reconciliation. The word reconciliation sits heavy in my chest. Like something I'm supposed to want, but not sure I do. Thursday therapy, I tell Dr. Patel about the request. How do you feel about it? Confused. Part of me wants to see if they've changed. Part of me thinks it's a trap. Part of me doesn't care anymore. Which part is loudest? I think about it. The part that doesn't care. That scares me. Why does that scare you? Because if I don't care, does that mean I've given up on them? Does that make me a bad daughter? Dr. Patel leans forward. Maya, not caring after 26 years of being dismissed, isn't giving up. It's self-preservation. You're allowed to reach a point where their potential growth matters less than your actual peace. But what if they really have changed? Then they'll respect whatever decision you make about mediation. If they've truly changed, your boundary won't threaten them. That hits different. True change respects boundaries. Manipulation demands compliance. I don't have to decide now, do I? No. You have 13 months left on the order. You can decide in a month. 6 months. Never. The timeline is yours. Friday evening at the garage, I'm working on the Camaro when Rachel asks, "You seem distracted. Everything okay?" My parents requested mediation. Through their lawyer. They want to talk. Rachel sets down her wrench. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me is curious if they've learned anything. Part of me thinks it's just another manipulation. Can I tell you what happened with my daughter, please? 6 months after she cut me off, I requested mediation, hired a family therapist, wrote her a letter taking full accountability, begged for one meeting. Rachel's voice gets quiet. She said no. And you know what, she was right to say no. Because I wasn't ready. I was still making it about my pain, my loss. I wasn't actually thinking about what she needed. When did you become ready? 2 years later. When I stopped needing her forgiveness to do the work. When I started therapy for me not to get her back. She looks at me. If your parents are requesting mediation 6 weeks into a restraining order, ask yourself, is this about respecting your boundaries or managing their image? I drive home thinking about that. 6 weeks. They couldn't make it 6 weeks before trying to negotiate their way back in. That tells me something. Saturday morning I call Jennifer Wu. I've thought about the mediation request, and not yet. Maybe in a few months. Maybe never. But tell them if they're serious about reconciliation, they'll respect that I need more time. I'll communicate that. How are you otherwise? Good. Really good, actually. Works great. I bought a project car. Building a life. That's exactly what you should be doing. The answer might become clearer with more time and distance. That afternoon at the garage, Tom Henderson stops by to see the Camaro's progress. The engine is partially rebuilt now. Bodywork is ongoing. You're making good time, he says. Jake would be impressed. I'm trying to honor his vision, using his notes as much as possible. Tom pulls out his phone, shows me a photo. Young man, mid-20s, huge smile, standing next to this exact Camaro. That's Jake. 2 months before diagnosis. Happiest I'd seen him in years. The photo makes my chest tight. He loved this car. He did. And I love that you're finishing it. It means he's still here somehow. Tom's eyes get wet. My daughter and I are talking again. First real conversation in 2 years. Because of you finishing this car. Because of you letting it go to someone who'd care for it. Same thing maybe. After he leaves, I sit with the Camaro. Think about Jake, about Grandpa. about projects we start and sometimes don't finish, about other people carrying them forward. The Mustang is gone, but I'm building something new, something no one can take. That's enough. Sunday, 6 weeks post-restraining order, I do something I haven't done since New Year's Day. I drive past my parents' neighborhood. Don't stop, don't slow down. Just drive past to see how it feels. It feels like driving past any other neighborhood. No pull, no longing, just houses where people live their lives. Maybe that's healing. Maybe that's just indifference. Maybe it's both. Monday at work, my first leadership council meeting. 6 people around a table making decisions that shape the company. I'm the youngest by 15 years, the only woman. I speak up 3 times, offer ideas, challenge assumptions. My input is heard, valued, implemented. Walking out of that meeting, I realized something. This is what being seen feels like. This is what it feels like when your voice matters. I've been chasing this feeling from my family for 26 years. I found it at work instead. Tuesday therapy, I tell Dr. Patel about the drive-by. I drove past their neighborhood. Felt nothing. How does feeling nothing feel? Sad, relieved, I'm not sure. Grief isn't linear. Some days you'll feel nothing. Some days it'll hit hard. Both are normal. When does it stop? The acute grief, usually 6 months to a year. But loss of family is complicated. You might grieve in waves for years. The goal isn't to stop grieving. It's to build a life where grief is just one part, not the whole thing. I think I'm doing that. I think you are too. Wednesday evening, Ashley texts again. Maya, I know I keep texting into the void, but therapy today was hard. My therapist asked me to list times I've supported you. I couldn't think of any. Not one. I tried to defend myself, say I was younger, say I didn't know. She said being younger doesn't mean being blind. I'm starting to see what you saw, how they built me up by tearing you down, how I let them, how I benefited from it. I'm so sorry. I know sorry isn't enough, but it's where I'm starting. I read it sitting in my car after grocery shopping. Read it 3 times. It's the most self-aware thing Ashley's ever said to me. I don't respond, still can't without violating boundaries, but I screenshot it, print it, put it in a folder labeled Ashley's Growth. Maybe someday matters. But not today. Thursday, 7 weeks in, I realize I haven't cried about them in a week. Haven't checked the family group chat in 2 weeks. Haven't thought about the car in 3 days. I'm not over it, but I'm through the worst of it. Friday at the garage, Rachel brings a friend. Another woman, early 60s, who does upholstery work. This is Diane. She could help with your interior when you're ready. Diane walks around the Camaro. I could do something beautiful with this. Cherry red leather. Classic style. Keep it true to Jake's vision. How much for you? Cost of materials plus $100. I'm semi-retired. Do it for love of the craft now. Deal. We shake hands. Rachel smiles. You're building a team. That's good. Restoration isn't meant to be done alone. Neither is healing, I realize. But I don't say it out loud. Saturday morning, Marcus texts. Brunch, want to talk to you about something. We meet at a cafe near my apartment. Order food. He looks nervous. What's up? I have something to tell you. And I don't know how you'll feel about it. My stomach drops. Are you okay? I'm fine. It's not bad. It's just complicated. He takes a breath. I have feelings for you. Have had them for a while. I'm not asking for anything. I know you're going through a lot. I just needed you to know. I stare at him. Marcus, my best friend. The person who's been there through everything. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I'm not asking for a response. I just couldn't keep it in anymore. He looks down. I understand if this changes things. If you need space. Marcus, I don't need space from you. You're one of the only people who's consistently shown up for me. So I need time. To process. To figure out what I feel. This year has been about learning who I am without them. I'm not sure I know how to be someone's person yet. That's fair. That's really fair. He manages a small smile. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. We finish brunch. It's slightly awkward, but not terrible. He hugs me goodbye. Holds on a second longer than usual. Driving home, I sit with it. Marcus having feelings for me. The possibility of something more. The fear of ruining the one stable relationship I have. But also the small flutter in my chest that might be interest. Might be possibility. Might be hope. I'm not ready yet. But maybe someday. Sunday, I'm at the garage when my phone rings. Jennifer Wu. Your parents responded to your not yet about mediation. And they're not happy. Their lawyer sent a formal letter saying they'll wait, but they want a timeline. Want to know when you'll be ready. What did you say? I said you'll let them know if and when you're ready. That demanding a timeline defeats the purpose of respecting your boundary. How did they take that? More angry letters. Threats to contest the restraining order again. Your father called me directly, which was inappropriate. I told him all communication goes through me, so they haven't changed. Not yet. They're still trying to control the process. That tells you something about their readiness. After we hang up, I sit with the Camaro, run my hand over the partially restored body. Think about Rachel's words. If they've truly changed, your boundary won't threaten them. Their need for a timeline. Their anger at waiting. Their attempts to go around Jennifer to contact me directly. None of that is change. That's more of the same package differently. I text Jennifer back. Tell them I need at least 6 more months before I'll even consider mediation. And if they contact you again demanding timeline, the answer becomes never. Her response, done. That's a healthy boundary. That evening, I'm making dinner when I get a text from an unknown number. Maya, this is Grandma Chen, your father's mother. I'm very disappointed in you. Your parents raised you better than this. A restraining order is shameful. You need to fix this. Call your mother, apologize, be the bigger person. This is not how family behaves. You're breaking your father's heart. I stare at it. Grandma Chen, who forgot my 16th birthday, who's always favored Dad over Aunt Patricia, who's now being deployed as a weapon. I don't respond. Instead, I screenshot it, send it to Jennifer. Flying monkey. Documented absolutely. This is third-party contact, which violates the spirit of the order. Want me to send her a cease and desist? Please. Within an hour, Jennifer sends me a copy of the letters sent to Grandma Chen. Formal, legal, clear. I block the number, add it to the list. They're not changing. They're escalating. And I'm learning that's okay. Their escalation doesn't require my participation. That night I opened my journal. Week 7. They requested mediation. I said not yet. They got angry. That tells me everything. Real change is patient. Real accountability doesn't demand timeline. I'm building a life they can't reach. A career they can't diminish. A project they can't take. Relationships they can't poison. Maybe someday I'll be ready to see if they've changed. But not today, not this month, maybe not this year. And I'm learning that's okay. Their growth is their responsibility. Mine is mine. I'm choosing mine. I close the journal, make tea, sit by my window watching the city lights. 7 weeks ago, I walked out of my parents' house on New Year's Day. 7 weeks ago, I discovered they sold my car. 7 weeks ago, my life imploded. Now I have a restraining order. A new project car, a promotion, a community, a therapist, boundaries with teeth, and the growing understanding that I don't need them to change for me to be okay. I'm already okay, without them, and that's the most powerful thing I've learned. 3 months into the restraining order, spring arrives in Austin. The Camaro's engine is fully rebuilt. Bodywork is 70% complete. I'm at the garage every Saturday, most Sundays, and some weekday evenings. Rachel works alongside me more often than not. Diane stopped by twice to plan the interior. Tom Henderson visits every few weeks to see progress. I have a community built around restoration and mutual respect and showing up. It's more family than I've ever had. Thursday therapy. Dr. Patel asks her usual opening question. How are you? Good. Really good. Is that allowed? She smiles. Why wouldn't it be? Because I have a restraining order against my parents. Because my family is fractured. Because I haven't spoken to them in 3 months. Shouldn't I be more broken? You were broken. You're healing. There's a difference. She leans forward. Maya, you're allowed to thrive while they face consequences. Your happiness doesn't require their permission, I know, but sometimes I feel guilty for being this okay. That's the last piece of their training, the belief that you owe them your suffering. You don't, I sit with that. The belief that I owe them my suffering. How deep that goes, how hard it is to root out. I got asked out, I say suddenly. Oh, Marcus, my best friend. He told me he has feelings for me about a month ago. Last week he asked if I wanted to try dinner. As a date, not just friends. What did you say? I said yes. We're going this Saturday. How do you feel about that? Terrified, excited, worried I'll ruin the friendship, but also curious. He's been the one constant through all of this. He sees me. Really sees me. That's significant. Someone who saw you through your worst and still wants to be close to you. Is it too soon? Should I wait until the restraining order is done? There's no timeline for when you're allowed to be happy, Maya. If you want to explore this with Marcus, explore it. Your healing doesn't require isolation. Saturday evening, Marcus picks me up at 7. Takes me to a small Italian place downtown. We've been to restaurants together hundreds of times. This feels different, charged. You look nice, he says when I get in his car. You've seen me in this dress. Yeah, but tonight, I'm allowed to say you look nice in it. I laugh. Some of the tension breaks. At dinner we talk like we always do. Work. The Camaro. Mutual friends. But there's an undercurrent. Awareness. Possibility. Can I ask you something? Marcus says over dessert. Always. Do you think you're ready for this? For us being something more, I don't want to push. I don't want to be another person demanding things from you. I think about it. Really think. I don't know if I'm ready, but I know I want to try. You've been there through everything. You've never asked me to be smaller. You celebrate when I succeed instead of feeling threatened. That's not something I've had before. I'm not them, Maya. I'm not going to take things from you. I'm not going to make you choose between yourself and me. I know. That's why I said yes. He reaches across the table, takes my hand. So we're trying this. We're trying this. The kiss goodnight is soft, tentative, perfect. Driving home, I feel something unfamiliar. Lightness. Hope. The possibility that maybe I can have good things. Maybe I deserve good things. Maybe I'm allowed to be happy. Sunday morning, I'm at the garage working on the Camaro when my phone rings. Jennifer Wu. Maya, I wanted to update you. Your parents filed a motion to modify the restraining order. They want supervised visitation, 1 meeting with a mediator present. My stomach drops. Can they do that? They can request it. Doesn't mean the judge will grant it. Hearing is in 2 weeks. You don't have to agree to anything. The order stands unless you consent to modification. What do? You decide what you want. If you're curious about seeing them with professional supervision, this could be an opportunity. If you're not ready, you say no. Either way, I'll represent your position. After we hang up, I sit with the Camaro, run my hands over the restored engine. Think about Jake who started this, Tom who let it go, me who's finishing it. Some things can be restored. Some things need to be built new, which is my family. Monday at work, I'm distracted. Keep thinking about the hearing, about supervised visitation, about whether I want to see them even with a professional buffer. Priya notices at lunch. You okay? You've been staring at your salad for 10 minutes. My parents filed a motion. They want supervised visitation. One meeting with a mediator. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me is curious if they've actually changed. Part of me thinks it's a trap. Part of me doesn't want to care. Which part is loudest? Same question Dr. Patel asked. The part that's curious. And that scares me. Why? Because curiosity means I still have hope. And hope feels dangerous. Priya sets down her fork. Maya hope isn't dangerous. False hope is dangerous. But wanting to see if your parents have grown, that's human. Just protect yourself while you check. Tuesday therapy, I tell Dr. Patel about the motion. How do you feel about supervised visitation, Torn? I've spent 3 months building a life without them. Part of me wants to keep it that way. But part of me wonders if they've learned anything. What would you need to see from them to believe they've changed? I think about that. Accountability. Real accountability. Not, we're sorry you're upset, but we were wrong to sell your car. We were wrong to dismiss you. We see the pattern now. And respect for my boundaries. Not demanding timeline. Not getting angry when I say no. Those are reasonable standards. If you decide to do the supervised visit, hold to those standards. If they can't meet them, you have your answer. And if they can meet them, then you decide what relationship, if any, you want going forward. But Maya, change takes time. One good meeting doesn't erase 26 years of pattern. Wednesday evening, Marcus comes over. I'm making dinner, he brings wine. Want to talk about the supervised visit thing? How did you know I was thinking about it? Because you've been quieter the last 2 days. And you always go quiet when you're processing something big. I plate the pasta. We sit at my small dining table. I'm thinking about saying yes. To the visit, yeah. With conditions. I want to see if they've actually done any work. If they've learned anything. If there's anything left to salvage. And if there isn't, then I have my answer. Then I can stop wondering. Marcus takes my hand. Whatever you decide, I support you. But promise me something. What? Promise you'll protect yourself first. Don't go in there hoping for change. Go in there testing for it. Expect nothing. Accept only effort. Expect nothing. Accept only effort. I like that. Thursday I call Jennifer. I'll do the supervised visit, one time. With conditions. What conditions? I want a professional mediator, not someone they choose. I want it in a neutral location. I want Patricia there as my support person. And I want them to understand that this isn't reconciliation. This is assessment. One meeting to see if further meetings are possible. I'll communicate that. If they agree, we'll schedule it. If they don't agree to your conditions, the answer is no. Thank you. Friday evening at the garage, I tell Rachel about the decision. You're going to see them, maybe. If they agree to my conditions. I need to know if there's anything worth saving. Or if I'm finally free to let go. Rachel nods slowly. Can I tell you what I wish I'd done differently, please? I wish I'd gone to that first mediation my daughter offered, even though I wasn't ready, because it would have shown me how much work I actually needed to do. I said no out of fear. She never offered again. I lost my chance to see how bad I really was. You think I should go? I think, if you're curious, go. But go with clear eyes. Don't go hoping for reconciliation. Go gathering information. What you learn will tell you everything you need to know. Saturday, the hearing. I arrive with Jennifer and Patricia. My parents are there with Mr. Donovan. We sit in separate areas of the hallway. Judge Torres calls us in. I've reviewed the motion to modify the protective order. Mr. and Mrs. Chen are requesting one supervised visit with their daughter. Miss Chen, do you consent? I stand. Yes, Your Honor. With conditions. Professional mediator of my choosing. Neutral location. My aunt present as support. And clear understanding that this is assessment, not reconciliation. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, do you agree to these conditions? They look at their lawyer. He nods. Dad speaks. Yes, Your Honor. Then I'm granting one supervised visit. Protective order remains in effect for all other contact. Miss Chen, you'll coordinate with the mediator. If at any point you want to terminate the visit, you may do so. This is voluntary. She looks at my parents. And if Miss Chen decides after this visit that no further contact is wanted, you will respect that decision. Clear, yes, Your Honor, they say together. The gavel comes down. In the hallway, after my parents try to approach, the bailiff steps between. Not until the supervised visit, he says. Mom's crying. Dad looks like he wants to argue but doesn't. I walk away with Jennifer and Patricia. That was brave, Patricia says. Or stupid. I'm not sure which yet, brave Jennifer says firmly. You set clear boundaries. You maintained control. That's brave. We schedule the mediation for 3 weeks out. Professional mediator Dr. Rebecca Walsh. Neutral office space. 2-hour time limit. 3 weeks to prepare. 3 weeks to decide what I want to say. 3 weeks to steel myself for whatever I find. That night, Marcus comes over, holds me while I cry. Not sad tears, fear tears, anticipation tears. The tears of someone about to see if the people who raised her can become the people she needed. What if they haven't changed, I ask into his shoulder. Then you know. Then you can stop wondering and fully move on. What if they have changed? Then you decide what kind of relationship, if any, you want with who they've become. How do I prepare for this? You don't. You just go in honest. Say what you need to say. Listen to what they say. Trust yourself to know the difference between real change and performance. Sunday, I'm at the garage. Can't focus on the Camaro. Just sit on the workbench staring at it. Rachel finds me like that. Want to talk, I'm seeing them in 3 weeks. Supervised visit. Professional mediator. How do you feel? Terrified. Hopeful. Angry that I'm hopeful. Sad that it's come to this. All of that is allowed. She sits beside me. My daughter will probably never give me what you're giving your parents. This chance. This meeting. Whatever happens, that's generous. Don't forget that. It doesn't feel generous. It feels necessary. I need to know. Then know. But Maya, go in there with no expectations. Don't give them power by hoping. Just gather information. That's all this is. Information gathering. I spend the next 3 weeks preparing. In therapy, we practice what I'll say. What I need to hear. What will tell me they've changed versus just learned better words for the same behavior. Real change looks like accountability without defensiveness, Dr. Patel says. It looks like understanding impact over intent. It looks like respect for your timeline, not pressure for theirs. With Marcus, we practice worst-case scenarios. What if they blame me? What if they cry? What if they seem changed, but I still feel nothing? Then you trust your gut, Marcus says. Your gut knows the difference between real and fake. It's been trying to tell you for 26 years. Listen to it this time. With Patricia, we plan logistics. She'll drive me. Sit in the waiting room. Be there immediately after. If it goes badly, we leave, she says. If it goes well, we process. Either way, you're not alone. The night before the mediation, I can't sleep. Lie in bed staring at the ceiling. Thinking about everything that's led to this moment. The car sold on New Year's Day. The restraining order. The contempt hearing. 3 months of silence. Building a life without them. And now 2 hours to see if there's anything left to salvage. I don't know what I'll find tomorrow. Don't know if they've changed or just learned to hide better. Don't know if this is closure or new beginning. But I'm ready to find out. I open my journal. Write 1 line. Tomorrow I'll see if the people who raised me can become the people I needed. If they can't, I'm already okay. If they can, I'll decide what that means. Either way, I'm going in whole. And I'm coming out whole. They don't have the power to break me anymore. I've built something they can't touch. Tomorrow is just information. And I'm ready. I close the journal. Set my alarm. Close my eyes. Tomorrow comes whether I'm ready or not. But for the first time in my life, I think I actually am. Patricia picks me up at 9 a.m. The mediation is at 10. I'm wearing jeans and a sweater. Nothing performative, just me. You ready? Patricia asks as I get in her car. No, but I'm going anyway. Dr. Rebecca Walsh's office is in a professional building near downtown. Neutral, quiet, safe. We arrive at 9:45, check in with the receptionist, sit in the waiting room. My parents aren't here yet. At 9:52 they walk in, Mom in a conservative dress, Dad in slacks and a button-down. They look older, tired, smaller somehow. They see me. Mom's hand goes to her mouth. Dad's jaw tightens. Neither approaches. They check in, sit on the opposite side of the waiting room. We wait in silence. 30 feet apart. 3 months of separation between us. At 10:00, Dr. Walsh comes out. Mid-50s, calm presence, kind but professional eyes. Chen family, come on back. The mediation room has a round table, 5 chairs, box of tissues, water glasses. Everything designed to be neutral, safe, controlled. Dr. Walsh sits at one position. I sit with Patricia on my right. My parents sit across from me. Dad's hands folded on the table. Mom clutching tissues. Thank you all for coming, Dr. Walsh begins. I'm Dr. Rebecca Walsh. I specialize in family mediation. I've reviewed the situation from both sides. Today's purpose is to see if communication is possible. If it's not, that's okay. This is voluntary for everyone. She looks at me. Maya, you requested this meeting. You can end it at any time. Understood. Understood. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, you agreed to Maya's conditions. That means today is about listening, not convincing. About understanding, not defending. Can you agree to that? They nod. Mom says yes. Dr. Walsh turns to me. Maya, would you like to start? Tell your parents what you need them to hear. I take a breath. Look at them directly. I need you to understand that the car wasn't the problem. The car was the last thing in a lifetime of being treated like I didn't matter as much as Ashley. I have photo albums showing the pattern. Financial records showing I gave you $55,000 while you funded Ashley's every want. I have memories of achievements you missed, celebrations. You skipped moments where I needed you and you weren't there. Mom starts to speak. Dr. Walsh holds up a hand. Let her finish. I continue. The restraining order wasn't about punishment. It was about protection. You violated my no-contact request 47 times in 3 days. You filed a false police report. You called my boss. You showed up at my workplace. Every time I set a boundary, you treated it like a personal attack instead of a reasonable request. I pause, gather myself. I'm here today because I need to know if you've learned anything. If you can take accountability, if you understand impact over intent. If not, I'm already okay. I've built a life without you. A good life. But if you have changed, I need to see it. Not hear about it. See it. Silence. Dr. Walsh looks at my parents. Would you like to respond? Dad clears his throat, starts with his usual approach. Maya, we love you. We've always loved you. We made decisions we thought were best. That's not accountability, I interrupt. That's justification. Dr. Walsh nods. Mr. Chen, Maya needs to hear what you did wrong, not why you thought you were right. Dad's face reddens. Struggles. Finally. We sold your car without asking. That was wrong. Why was it wrong? Because it was your car, your work, your grandfather's legacy. Something shifts, small but real. He said it, without a but. Mom jumps in. I've been in therapy since the restraining order. My therapist helped me see. She stops, cries, real tears, not performative ones. She helped me see that I treated you like you were fine so I could focus on Ashley, who I saw as struggling. But you weren't fine. You were just good at hiding it. And I missed it. I missed you. My chest tightens. You didn't just miss it, Mom. You ignored it. There's a difference. You're right. I ignored it. Because it was easier than admitting I was failing you while trying to save Ashley. Patricia puts her hand on my arm, grounding, supporting. Dr. Walsh speaks. Maya, what would real change look like to you, respecting boundaries without anger, acknowledging the pattern without minimizing, understanding that I get to decide what relationship I want going forward, and that might be limited or none. And most importantly, treating my achievements and Ashley's equally, not making me earn what you give her freely. Can you do that? Dr. Walsh asks my parents. Dad looks at Mom. Back to me. We've sold the house, downsized, used the equity to pay you back. He slides an envelope across the table. Cashier's check, $62,000, the $55,000 you gave us plus interest. I stare at the envelope. Don't touch it. We can't give you back the car, Mom says. But we can acknowledge what it cost you. What we cost you. Why now, I ask? Why after a restraining order? Why not when I sent the email? Why not when I asked for space? Because we didn't believe you'd really leave, Dad admits. We thought you'd come back. You always came back. The restraining order made us understand we'd lost you. Really lost you. We had to choose change or lose you forever. So you changed because you were forced to. Not because you understood you were wrong, both Mom says. We were forced to look at ourselves. And when we did, we saw what you'd been trying to show us. We saw the pattern, the favoritism, the dismissal. She looks directly at me. I saw that I raised one daughter to need me and one daughter to not. And I punished you for being what I made you. That hits, deep and true. What about Ashley, I ask. Ashley's in therapy too, Dad says. She moved out, got a job. She's paying us back for the equipment. Monthly installments. How much has she paid 3 months? $1,500 so far. It's something. Small but something. Dr. Walsh intervenes. Maya, I want to check in. How are you feeling right now? Overwhelmed. I came in expecting denial. This is different. Does different feel safe? I think about it. Different feels like maybe. Not yes, but maybe. Dr. Walsh nods. Maybe is reasonable, Mr. And Mrs. Chen. Maya is giving you something generous. She's giving you maybe. That means the work continues. That means proving over time, not expecting immediate reconciliation. Can you accept that? Mom nods immediately. Dad more slowly, but he nods. What does maybe look like? Dad asks. I'm surprised he's asking, letting me define it. Maybe means we try this again in a month. Another supervised session. See if you're still doing the work. If you are, maybe we try a coffee. Brief. Public. With Patricia there. If that goes okay, maybe another. Baby steps. Earned trust. We can do that, Mom says. We will do that. And boundaries stay. I decide when we talk. Where we meet. What we discuss. If I need space, you respect it without guilt. If I say no, you accept it without argument. Agreed, Dad says. Dr. Walsh looks at me. How do you feel about trying another session in a month? Cautiously open to it. That's healthy. She looks at my parents. Homework for next session. I want you both to write letters. Specific instances where you dismissed Maya. Specific apologies, not generalizations. Specifics. Bring them next time. They agree. The session ends at 1:45, an hour 45, shorter than the 2-hour limit. In the waiting room, my parents hover, uncertain. Patricia stands between us. Can we? Mom starts. Can we hug you? I look at Patricia. She shrugs. My choice. Not yet. But maybe next time. Mom nods. Crying, but accepting. We leave separately. Patricia drives me home. I'm silent the whole way. At my apartment she asks, how are you? I don't know. They said things I needed to hear, but I don't trust it yet. That's wise. Time will tell if it's real. After she leaves, I sit on my couch, stare at the envelope, the check, $62,000, not the car, but acknowledgement. I open it. Cashier's check. Made out to me. Real. I don't deposit it yet. Just set it on my kitchen counter. Proof they're trying. Whether it's enough remains to be seen. Marcus comes over that evening. I tell him everything. They apologized. Really apologized. Gave me money back. Asked what I needed. How do you feel? Confused? I expected a fight. I got accountability. Is that what it feels like, accountability? I think about it. It feels like the beginning of accountability, like step one. But I've seen them perform before. I need to see if this lasts. That's smart. Don't trust words. Watch behavior over time. Sunday, I'm at the garage. Rachel finds me sitting with the Camaro. How'd it go? Better than expected. Worse than hoped for. They said the right things. But I've heard right things before. What's your gut say? My gut says maybe. My gut says watch. My gut says protect yourself while you check if it's real. Listen to your gut, it knows. That week I tell Dr. Patel about the mediation. They took accountability, without minimizing. That's significant. Is it enough? Only you can answer that. But Maya, this is what earned reconciliation looks like. Slow, cautious, conditional. You're not obligated to accept their efforts. But if you're curious about whether change is possible, you can stay curious while staying protected. I scheduled another session in a month. How do you feel about that? Scared I'll believe them and get hurt again, but also curious if real change is possible. Can people really change at their age? Yes. It's rare, it's hard, but yes, usually requires crisis, like a restraining order, like losing someone they can't afford to lose. Your parents hit that crisis. Now we see if they do the work. Thursday I get an email from Ashley. Subject: I'm sorry, Body Maya. I know you're not ready to talk to me. I know I'm still covered by the restraining order, but I'm writing this anyway, not because I expect forgiveness. Because I need to say it. I took everything from you and gave nothing back. I watched Mom and Dad treat you like you were less, and I let it happen because it benefited me. I told myself I didn't know better. But ignorance chosen is still a choice. I'm in therapy. I got a job. I moved out. I'm paying back the equipment money. Slowly, but I'm paying it. Not to earn you back. To become someone worth knowing. If you never want to see me again, I understand. But if someday you do, I want to be someone who deserves that chance. I love you. I'm sorry. Ashley. I read it 3 times, screenshot it, add it to the folder, don't respond. But, feel something shift. Small. Fragile. Hope maybe. Friday at the garage I tell the group about the mediation. Tom, Rachel, Diane, and 2 new members who've joined our Friday sessions. They apologize, Tom asks. Yeah, real apologies. Took accountability. Offered restitution. You taking them back? No. Not taking them back. Seeing if there's something to build new. Different. On my terms. Rachel nods. That's wise. The old relationship is dead. If there's a new one, it'll be different. Make sure it's better. Saturday, Marcus and I have our 3rd official date. Dinner and a movie. It's easy. Comfortable, right? In the car after he asks, how are you really doing with all this? The mediation. Your parents trying. Ashley's email. I'm okay. Actually okay. Because even if they all disappear tomorrow, I'm still okay. I built something they can't touch. This I gesture between us and my job and the Camaro and my friends. I'm not waiting for them to make me whole. I'm already whole. He kisses me, soft and certain. Yeah, you are. That night alone in my apartment, I open my journal. Month 4. The mediation happened. They said things I needed to hear. Time will tell if they meant them. But here's what I know: I'm okay either way. If they've changed, I'll decide what relationship I want with who they've become. If they haven't, I'm already building a life without them. The car is gone. The family I wanted never existed. But I'm here, whole, building something new, and that's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. I close the journal, look at the check on my counter. $62,000. Tomorrow I'll deposit it. Start a savings account. Maybe put it toward the Camaro. Maybe toward something else. It's mine to decide. Just like my life is mine to decide. They don't get a vote anymore. They get to earn consideration. Through time. Through consistency. Through respect for boundaries. And if they can't do that, I'll be sad. But I'll be okay. Because I've already proven to myself the thing I needed to know. I can survive without them. I can thrive without them. They're not my foundation anymore. I am, and that changes everything. 6 months after New Year's Day, I'm driving the completed Camaro down Congress Avenue. Cherry red paint gleaming in the July Sunday engine purring perfectly, every detail finished. Jake's vision realized. My restoration complete. Marcus is in the passenger seat. We're heading to Tom Henderson's house. He asked to see the finished car. How does it feel, Marcus asks. Like finishing something that matters. Like honoring a promise. We pull into Tom's driveway. He's waiting on the porch. When he sees the Camaro, his hand goes to his mouth. I get out, walk over, want to take a look. He walks around it slowly, touches the paint, opens the door, sits in the driver's seat, runs his hands over the steering wheel. Jake would love this, every detail, every choice. He looks up at me with wet eyes. Thank you. Thank you for finishing what he started. Thank you for trusting me with it. He gets out, hugs me, holds on tight. You gave him a legacy. You gave me peace. That's everything. On the drive back, I think about legacy, about Grandpa and the Mustang, about Jake and this Camaro, about things we start and don't finish, about other people carrying them forward. The Mustang is gone, but I built something new, something completely mine. That's enough, more than enough. At home, I find an envelope in my mailbox, hand-addressed from my parents. Inside are 2 letters, Dad's handwriting, Mom's handwriting. The homework Dr. Walsh assigned. I sit on my couch, open Dad's first. Maya, Dr. Walsh asked for specifics. Here are mine. I missed your robotics championship to take Ashley to cheer practice. I told myself her activity mattered too. But I chose hers over yours. That was wrong. I said your job was playing with computers while calling Ashley's Instagram building a brand. I minimized what you do. That was wrong. I sold your car without asking because I didn't think you'd say yes. I chose avoiding confrontation over respecting you. That was wrong. I called your boss to say you were unstable. I tried to hurt your career because you set boundaries. That was unforgivable. I don't have excuses. These are facts, things I did, things that hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm learning to be better. I hope someday you'll let me show you. Dad, I set it down. Open Moms. Maya, my specifics, your 8th birthday. I spent it comforting Ashley over a scraped knee instead of celebrating your science fair win. I taught you your achievements didn't matter. That was wrong. Your college graduation. I left early for Ashley's sorority event. I missed your moment. That was wrong. Every time I said you're fine instead of asking how you were, I treated your independence as not needing love. That was wrong. I showed up at your workplace violating the restraining order. I chose my wants over your safety. That was unforgivable. You deserved a mother who saw you, who celebrated you, who protected you. I failed at all 3. I'm in therapy. I'm learning. I'm changing. Not to get you back. To deserve a second chance if you ever offer one. I love you. I'm sorry. Mom. I read both letters 3 times. They're specific. They're accountable. They're real. Not perfect, but real. My phone rings. Patricia, did you get the letters? Yeah, just read them. What do you think I think? They're trying. Really trying. I don't know if it's enough, but it's something. The second mediation session is scheduled for next week. Are you going? Yeah? I want to see if this is sustained effort or just performance. That's wise. I'll drive you. That evening, Marcus comes over. I show him the letters. He reads them carefully. These are good, specific, accountable, no minimizing. Do you think people can really change? I think some people can. I think your parents are in that crisis moment where they have to change or lose you forever. The question is whether they sustain it after the crisis passes. How do I know? Time, consistency. Whether they respect your boundaries when it's inconvenient. Whether they celebrate your wins without making it about them. Whether Ashley stays in her lane. Speaking of Ashley, I pull out my phone, show him her latest text from 2 days ago. She got her 4th paycheck. She's paid mom and dad back $1,200 now. She sent me a photo of the check. Marcus looks at the photo. She's doing the work. I'm still not ready to see her. You don't have to be. Maybe never. Maybe someday. Your timeline. Friday at the garage, I show everyone the completed Camaro. Rachel, Tom, Diane, Mike, Sandra, and 3 others who've become regulars. It's beautiful, Rachel says. Jake would be so proud. Your first full restoration, Tom says. How does it feel? Like proof I can build things that last. Like proof I'm more than what was taken from me. We celebrate with pizza and beer. Talk about next projects. Rachel's starting a '72 Nova. Tom's almost done with his Corvette. Mike and Sandra are planning a '68 GTO. What about you? Rachel asks. What's next? I don't know yet. Maybe I just enjoy this one for a while. Drive it. Remember why I love this. That's healthy. Not every ending needs a new beginning right away. Saturday, the second mediation session. Same office. Same setup. Dr. Walsh, me, Patricia, my parents. Thank you all for coming back. Dr. Walsh begins. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, did you complete the homework? Yes, Mom says. We brought the letters. Maya has them. Maya, did you read them? I did. How did they make you feel? Validated, seen, cautiously hopeful. Dr. Walsh nods. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, what have you learned in the past month? Dad speaks first. That change is hard. That accountability feels terrible. That Maya deserves better than what we gave her. That we can't undo the past, but we can build something different going forward. Mom adds that saying, sorry, isn't enough. That earning trust takes time. That Maya gets to decide what relationship she wants. That our job is to be people worth having a relationship with, not to demand she give us one. Maya, what do you need to hear today? I need to know if Ashley has boundaries now, if they're treating her achievements and mine equally, if this change extends beyond getting me back. Dad pulls out his phone, shows me his Facebook, recent post from a week ago. Photo of Ashley at her desk at work. Caption, proud of Ashley for working hard at her new job. Marketing coordinator. She's learning the value of earning what you have. Then scrolls to another post from 3 days ago. Photo of my leadership council announcement from company website. Caption, proud of Maya. Senior director at 26. Leadership council. She's always been brilliant. I'm sorry it took me so long to say it publicly. Equal posts, equal pride, public acknowledgement. Ashley knows you and I are trying reconciliation, Mom says. She asked if she could reach out to you. I told her no. That's your decision, your timeline. She was disappointed but accepted it. That's growth, I say. For both of you. We talk for 90 minutes. About boundaries. About what relationship might look like. About baby steps. At the end, Dr. Walsh asks Maya, how do you feel about trying a coffee meeting brief? Public. Patricia present. No deep conversations. Just seeing if you can be in the same space. I think about it. Okay. 1 hour. Coffee shop. Patricia there. If I need to leave, I leave. Agreed, my parents say together. 2 weeks later, the coffee meeting. Starbucks near my apartment. Saturday morning. Patricia beside me. My parents across the table. We talk about surface things. Weather. Their downsized house. My Camaro project. Work. No one brings up the past. No one pushes boundaries. Just existing in the same space without crisis. After 45 minutes I stand. I should go. I have plans with Marcus. Thank you for coming, Mom says. Thank you for respecting my time limit. Dad stands, extends his hand. I shake it. Small touch, formal, but something. Mom asks again. Can I hug you? I think about it. Nod. She hugs me, quick, doesn't hold on too long. Respects my body language. Same time next month, Dad asks. Maybe. I'll let you know, that's fair. In Patricia's car after she asks the usual question, how do you feel? Okay? It was okay, not terrible, not great, just okay. Okay is progress. Over the next 3 months we do monthly coffee meetings, each one slightly easier, slightly longer, still supervised, still boundaried, but real. In October, 10 months after New Year's Day, I agree to dinner. Restaurant, public, Patricia present. 2 hours. They ask about my life. Actually listen. Don't compare to Ashley. Don't minimize. Just listen. I ask about theirs. They're volunteering now. Marriage counseling. Still in individual therapy. Ashley isn't mentioned until I bring her up. How is she? Good, Mom says carefully. Working hard. Still in therapy. Still paying back the money. She asks about you sometimes. We tell her you're doing well, but that you're not ready. She accepts it. Has she changed? Dad considers it. She's growing up, learning what you learned years ago. That earning things matters. That independence feels good. That taking shortcuts has costs. Do you think I'll ever want to see her? Only you can answer that, Mom says. No pressure. No timeline. Just, if you ever do, she's doing the work to be worth seeing. By December, almost a year since New Year's Day, we're doing monthly dinners. Still Patricia present, still boundaried. But conversation flows easier. Laughter happens sometimes. It's not the family I wanted. But it's something real. The restraining order expires in July. 6 months away. Dr. Walsh asks in our check-in session, what happens when the order expires? I don't know. Maybe we keep the same boundaries voluntarily. Maybe we try less formal contact. Maybe I decide this is enough. All of those are valid. I'm not sure I'll ever want the old relationship back. The old relationship is dead, Maya. This is something new. You get to decide what it becomes. Christmas week they invite me to their downsized house. Small gathering, just them, Patricia, me. Marcus, I say yes with conditions. 2 hours, can leave any time. Marcus with me, we go. The house is smaller, simpler, photo albums out, new ones, recent photos. Equal space for me and Ashley. Mom made my favorite stuffing. Remembered. Actually remembered. We eat, talk. It's stilted sometimes, but not terrible. At one point, Dad raises his glass. To Maya, for giving us a second chance we didn't deserve. To Maya, Mom echoes. Patricia adds to Maya, for knowing her worth. Marcus squeezes my hand. I raise my glass. To second chances. To boundaries. To building something new from something broken. We drink. It's not perfect. It's not healed. But it's real. And maybe real is enough. Driving home, Marcus asks, how was that strange? Good strange. Like meeting people who look like my parents but act differently. You okay with it? Yeah, I think I am. New Year's Day, exactly 1 year later, I'm at the garage, not working, just sitting with the Camaro. Remembering. A year ago, I drove to Houston thinking I'd surprise my family with the Mustang. Instead, I discovered they'd sold it. My life imploded. Now restraining order ending in 6 months. Tentative reconciliation with parents. Thriving career. Beautiful relationship with Marcus. Community of friends. Completed Camaro. I've lost things. The Mustang. The family I wanted. The illusion that they'd change on their own. But I've gained more. Boundaries. Self-worth. Chosen family. Peace. My phone buzzes. Text from Marcus. Happy 1-year anniversary of the worst day that led to your best year. Proud of you. Love you. I smile. Text back. Love you too. Another text. From Ashley's number. First time in months. Maya, I know you're not ready to see me, maybe never. But I wanted you to know I'm 1 year sober from depending on mom and dad. 1 year of earning my own way. 1 year of therapy. 1 year of becoming someone who doesn't take from others. I don't expect forgiveness, I just wanted you to know. I'm doing the work. Happy New Year. I read it, screenshot it, file it away, don't respond yet. But feel something. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just acknowledgement. She's doing the work. That's hers to do. My healing is mine. They're separate journeys. Maybe someday they intersect. Maybe not. Either way, I'm okay. I open my journal. Final entry, 1 year. New Year's Day to New Year's Day. They sold my car. I filed a restraining order. Built a life without them. Learned I'm whole on my own. They're trying now. Slowly. Imperfectly. But trying. I'm letting them try. Slowly. Carefully. On my terms. The car is gone. The family I wanted never existed. But I'm here. Whole. Building something they can't touch. This story isn't about them anymore. It's about me. Choosing me. Building me. Becoming me. And that's everything. I close the journal. Pat the Camaro's hood. Walk out of the garage into the January Sunday. 1 year ago, I lost a car. Today, I have myself. And that's the restoration that mattered most.